Yo, what's going on everybody? Xantos Vice here and I'm finally back with some more Punishing Gray Raven. Hope you guys had a great day so far today. Yes, I know I'm back. Let me apologize first and foremost. I actually did want to do it in like the last stream in the last 2 days, but I'll be completely upfront. On Wednesday, it said that there was going to be a thunderstorm, and I'd woken up pretty late, so I was like, ah, shit, I probably don't want to. Then, as I keep waiting in expectation, nothing happened. So I'm like, fuck, now I don't have the motivation, because I don't have the energy, because I was anticipating that I wouldn't stream. Then, yesterday, I was trying to get in the mood to do it, so I was like, alright, you know what, let me do a little workout sesh before I actually start the stream. So, that is what I tried to do, but I actually pushed myself a bit harder to exercise that day. And unfortunately, I did get a bit lightheaded. I think it's probably because I didn't properly do the right breathing techniques, or just that I need more water. So then I had to take a nap. The next thing I know, it's like an actual thunderstorm happened. I was like, fuck, are you serious? I slept past the time that I was supposed to. And yeah, I just wasn't in the mood even after that. When it was like 9 o'clock at night, I was just like very I guess sullen, kind of, if you want to define the kind of feeling I had. So yeah, hence why I also didn't stream yesterday. But I'm back, y'all don't gotta worry. But yeah, anyway, we are back with more Punishing Gray Raven to continue with the Vera storyline. And we're probably not going to finish it today, obviously, because there's still a good portion of it left. But we're going to try to at least get 2 hours in for today. And we will do our last Trails in the Sky stream tomorrow. Tomorrow will be the tier list. It will be the tier list. I'm actually going to, later tonight, I'm actually going to start comprising like a playlist of Trails in the Sky OSTs. So at least we have something nice to listen to as I go over a lot of the other characters from the Trails in the Sky series that I now have more to think about as I continue the series after that long hiatus. So yeah, anyway, if I remember, we had finally gotten to the point where it's like, now we know exactly what happened, to the point where we were working together with Vera, right? Like how exactly we survived, or how we got the concussion, and also in real life after trying to deal with that Ascendant. Now we have to try to lessen the situation before these new versions of hetero creatures start to escape and contaminate the Earth again, like the incident with the twins. So we're gonna go ahead and do that. And see, it's like I'm only 50% done, which tells us a lot as to like how much there is to this. So yeah, like I said, I don't know how far we're gonna get into it. If I see even a bit of lightning actually happening at this time, then I'll probably end stream. But if it's not anything crazy, then I'll just keep going for at least the 2 hours that I want to actually do. Oh yeah, now we also have Vera's old suit, or I mean her old frame, because it's like it actually was supposed to be the best frame Kureno had, but just because of everything that happened in the past, it just wasn't usable anymore. Plus, it still did have a lot of defects at the time. For Vera's past mind, she was born on the Sea of Hands, to the little Commandant, offering her own flesh and blood. She pulls you along for the final leg of your journey together. Your reality seems like a projection of the mind, only in reverse. Amid a shower of dust, 3 people, or more accurately 1 person and a pair of conjoined individuals, stumble unceremoniously from a duct, crashing onto the floor of a corridor in the gene repository. You carry the construct on your back to take a hard fall, but after catching your breath twice, you immediately push yourself up to check on Vera's condition. The mind beacon reflects the frame's data synchronization status, progressing abnormally slowly. Yeah, so this is what's going through Vera's mind when she's going through this frame. It was so much faster during the Atlantis operation. Hey, Nymph is the first to roll over and get back on his feet. How many followed us? I blocked the tunnel exit. No other creatures have followed us yet. Impressive. You managed to block it while carrying such a large construct. Dust everywhere. Thank goodness it still works. Let's check the tracker first. Where's Eve? Todd's glow is fainter. They confirm Eve is somewhere nearby. Oh right, yeah, that being the hetero creature that Professor Haynes was working on and then let loose. Just as I thought, it escaped into this gene bank. Let's move. Kinda helps you to your feet. Exoskeleton sure is cumbersome. Meanwhile, he catches your scrutinizing gaze, taking advantage of the moment to observe you. What's up? You look like you've got something on your mind. How did you find that tunnel entrance so quickly? Because I'm current up personnel. Of course I know about these little secrets. I thought you weren't familiar with this island. I admit I researched this genomic resource center a bit before we departed, but I absolutely had no intention of harming any of you. I told you before, I want you to get me away from Kurano. In exchange, I lead you to the treasure. We just happened to run into some major trouble. Why are you so desperate to escape from Kurano? Why the sudden interest in these finicky details? After 2 whole days of going through hell, have you finally been charmed by me? Looking to whisk me away on a white horse? Quickens his pace forward, words flowing smoothly from his mouth as if the questions themselves are a little concern to him. Look once more at Haynes Labelle. In fact, when you first escorted him onto that transport ship, you had already discovered a small FOS badge hidden in the inner lining of his coat. I'll be blunt. The smell of FOS. What's this smell of FOS you're talking about? Like how yesterday you nearly strangled me, then pointed a gun at me, all because I acted a bit too much? Was it actually because I was too smelly? Cut the crap. Fine, no point in hiding it. I did graduate from FOS Military College, but I severed ties with Babylonia long ago. Now I'm just Kurano's little dog. You must have done well at FOS. Otherwise, Kurano wouldn't have taken an interest in you. Nothing special, just ranked in top 10 overall. Impressive. Is Haynes your real name? Never seen her in any chief registry from previous years. I was never a chief in that position. Someone wouldn't allow it? No, that's not it. Being that kind of hero sitting in the spotlight just doesn't suit me. That's all. I doubt anyone would believe me if I said it. I'm here to find my family. Don't misunderstand. I'm no kin of the vicious hetero creatures. I want to find my true origins. My investigation just happened to lead me here. I don't believe anyone could be under Kurano's control from the moment of birth, so I want to figure out what exactly made them take an interest in me. You've been under Kurano's since you were born? See? You don't believe me, as expected. And I'm guessing you won't like this kind of story. All this secrecy and mystery only to end up being about some trivial family matter. Silent again. I suppose that's one of your virtues. Staying quiet about things you don't understand. But this is my story. Heroic epics like yours, that are known all over the world, are a rarity. Mine is just a tale of a small shadow drifting through the world. Type you'd be able to find anywhere. I've said everything that I can tell you. If you have no further questions, please trust me a little longer. Besides, our current situation is extremely urgent. The situation's already complicated. I don't want to deal with a betrayal on top of everything else. Got it. Pain have taken the gun in your hand as you deliver a warning. Alright, understood. Let's pick up the pace and focus on capturing Eve. By the way, I'll take point. You were injured earlier. Why are you suddenly willing to turn your back to me? You still carry FOS's badge with you to this day. Oh, so you noticed that. Rather with its beak out shut, he folds his wings and falls quietly for once. Maybe it's that he's a clone of Haynes, but he just doesn't know it. Maybe. I mean, there are times where people have forgotten, like, their origins and everything. Like, with knowing. Everything seems to be progressing smoothly. Hero's appearance is reassuring, promising a happy end. Dim corridor lights stretch into long shadows behind him, made of kind of protagonist's silhouette. Repeatedly inhales as if to speak, then hesitates. Countless times his lips move, but each time he swallows his words back down. He remains silent. After all, his innate destiny has always been imitation. User experience have accustomed him to being a mere shadow. All his actions until now have been rebellious attempts to defy his fate. But we're playing mind games or deliberately sabotaging situations, we use these tactics to gain more freedom. Deep inside, he can't help but feel curious about the hero he was meant to imitate. Originally, he didn't even have an origin to speak of. Only a name he was born with. Haynes. From developing from a tiny embryo into human form, to gradually gaining knowledge of the world, to the rapid emergence of self-awareness, was his memories evolve around this name. In his hazy childhood memories, there were 10 Haynes in total. He was number 10. Numbers 1 through 9 were successfully deemed to have genetic defects or be unsuitable by the adults that eventually died. But he was born with a stronger instinct for self-preservation than others. Feared death, so he deeply understood the importance of being obedient and well-behaved. I kind of do think he has to be like a clone, because we've already seen that the cloning technology was available. But again, I guess it depends on like how long ago that was, because we don't know how long ago that one Ascendant had used that on the Commandant and Short Haul all those other times in those simulations, right? In the birdcage. So it's like, maybe it's like Kurino had shared that intel with the Ascendants at that point. He was more suited than anyone to be a perfect shadow. You're Haynes, the last one to survive screening, so you were assigned to Babylonia. Who knows what kind of scheme that old bastard's cooking up now? Bearing his name, he was sent to Babylonia's Youth Development Center, occasionally receiving support from kind-hearted individuals from Kurino, through his bewildering teenage years and what could be called exceptional stability. He followed his sponsors' every command without question, studying whatever they told him to study, helping whatever small tasks they asked him to help with. He had no demands, no desires. The driving force behind all his actions were simply fear of death. After all, the deaths of the previous 9 Haynes subjects were genuinely terrifying. From some point on, a certain name began to frequently reach his ears. That day, he stopped in front of one of the promotional videos commonly seen throughout Babylonia, where everyone couldn't help but focus on the grey figure within it. Welcome back ceremony. Caustic Squad, Grave of Commandant, Cerberus Squads. Repel the Ascendants, scattering sparks of hope across the sea. For the first time, he wanted to express his own hopes and dreams. Before he could speak, the sponsor from Kurino arrived to inform him of a new mission. Your mission is to enter FOS Military College as a student. This could be considered the first positive coincidence in his life. Immediately sat up straight. I understand. I'll apply right away. You seem eager to do so. Is there any reason for your enthusiasm? The man looks somewhat puzzled. I thought you'd pursue scientific research when you grew up. You've had a change of heart. Could you really be the most different one after all? Which one? Haynes, besides those 9. Are there many more? No, there aren't any more. What's so funny? He suddenly feels like a lab rat lifted by its tail by the people who have been experimenting on him for years, suspended in the air as he scrutinized his defenseless body from all angles. His displeasure with this name suddenly burst forth, longer to use the surveillance and control he's endured because of it. So, do I keep on being Haynes? Go to FOS with that name while I work for Kurino? What are all the questions today? Just do as you're told. The consent forms are lengthy. The man only finishes his explanation as the artificial daylight fades. In short, once you enter FOS college, you must remain competitive for the chief position by any means necessary. As long as you can do that, Colonel will continue to support you. And if I can't, I die? It's not that severe. You'd still be useful to us. Fine, I'll do it. Let me repeat my understanding of these documents. You want to create another chief, right? Good, you understand. Your overall qualities are excellent, and you're obedient too. I feel this mission will suit you perfectly. Ah, I see. They wanted a chief they could actually control. Especially one that they could do under the guise of just being an FOS student. When assigned to Babylonia later on. Besides, we haven't mistreated you, have we? For a hostage of the Haynes family, your life in Babylonia has been quite luxurious. I don't understand. Where do I sign? Don't worry, this is a good opportunity. After you graduate from FOS, Colonel will arrange your future placement. Whatever you say. As long as I get into FOS college, things should be different. Thinking this to himself, he raises his hand and signs the name that has accompanied him for over a decade. Very good. Now go become the next chief. On his first day at FOS, he immediately began diligently gathering information. He pored over the roster of past students, which is now the names of each successive chief one by one. Ah, I see. By trying to gauge what makes them have the qualities of a chief, he would learn how to do that, probably apply it himself. At the founding of FOS Military College, the first chief student, Blink, disappeared. Second class, confirmed KIA. Third class, disappeared. Ah, right. Now he's gotta learn what it really means to be a chief. Because sure, you get all the fame, but that's if you make it back alive. But it is a dangerous thing because they're still risking their lives for an important cause. But that doesn't necessarily mean it's all sunshine and rainbows. You can say that for people who join the army, the military, the navy. It's they all know what they're doing. It's they know it's never a guaranteed mission all the time, but they're still willing to go there. Fourth class underwent construct modification, currently assigned to Purifying Force. Fifth class, confirmed KIA. Class Blank Chrome underwent construct modification, currently assigned to Strike Hawk Squad at the Task Force. Right. Yeah, Chrome was. Class Xanthos, currently assigned to Graven Squad at the Task Force. Close the roster, the past students no longer wanted to continue reading. Still remembers attending the enrollment ceremony that day. The auditorium spotlights were rather stingy, casting their beams upon only a few lucky. He silently stared at those few beams of light. A vision at the end of this mission flashed through his mind. He knew that those standing where the light couldn't reach would be reduced to a single line reading disappeared or confirmed KIA. He fears death. He suddenly realized he's chosen the path that brings him closest to it. Right, because that was the whole point. He followed instructions so that he wouldn't have to basically have the result of death. His trembling persists until the first class of freshman. The first lesson contains neither theory nor practice, but takes place at Memorial Plaza before the monument. It serves as a boundary stone, the only true divider between life and death. Said that the densely packed lists have fallen on the monument, able to even locate the names of those chiefs he had just seen in the register. Trembles uncontrollably, the answer unique to FOS echoing in his mind as his fingers trace across the monument. For the second time, he wanted to express his hopes and dreams to the world. Why are you still spacing out? Just like that, too? Just wait. This is gonna remove all those dangly things from your ears tomorrow. It was already eyeing you several times during the assembly. You got a problem with it? If I can't mess with anything else, what's wrong with messing up with my own appearance? What? A really friendly youth across him freezes for a moment, not expecting his future classmate to respond like that. You upset? I was just trying to make conversation. He pointed you out to me, said you ranked first overall in the entrance exams. Maybe you become our class's chief in the future. I won't be first in class. Keeps Kurono's plans firmly in mind before exceeding those plans, or the seeds of rebellion deeply rooted in his heart. Of course, I'll be competing for it too. Ridiculous. I haven't introduced myself yet. I'm Beeble. What's your name? Beeble extends his hand to Haynes, while the nearby classmates turn to watch. My name is... The name that had been attached to him for years gets stuck on the tip of his tongue and he suddenly halts. But he starts to lead his anxious gaze to the search, until finally his eyes land on an unremarkable name for the memorial. He steps back to reality and grasps Beeble's outstretched hand. The shadow within him grips that hand tightly. The span of a single day is the third time he wants to voice his hopes. But this time he doesn't hesitate. He fulfills his own wish, giving himself a true name. Haynef. Call me Haynef. My name is Haynef, student ID 1364. Haynef, student ID 1364. No problem. Graduation qualifications approved. Permitted to participate in the graduation assessment. His terminal immediately received the test announcement from Academic Affairs, as through it while walking toward the crowd nearby. Time passed in the blink of an eye. It feels like the school anthem had been echoing in their ears for only a brief moment before the graduation arrived. The moment he named himself became a turning point. He grew more ambitious and cunning, developing many demands while accumulating countless small acts of rebellion over the years. Like adding more small components to his body, or deliberately scoring right at Kurono's passing threshold. But none of it was enough. Cancel the field drill because of severe casualties among commandants and constructs. Can't spare any personnel. Now I feel like they're totally overestimating us. If they were to let me go to the surface, I would get a perfect score, just like the Grey River Commandant. It's the Grey River Commandant again. Pushed through the crowd engaged in heated discussion and walks away. It's still daytime. You better save the sleep talking for another night. Get a load of this. Immature. You just never have anything nice to say, huh? Young graduates soon to leave the nest of FOS share a moment of laughter before dispersing to their individual holographic simulation pods. Assessment begins much easier than expected, with the first base station being quickly conquered by their team. After confirming his ranking, Haynef exits his holographic simulation pod. The room is as cramped as a small box, so confined it might as well be a prison cell. Currently at 10th place. This should meet your requirement, right? The voice on the other end, the call falls silent, as if pausing to verify Haynef's words. After a brief moment of silence, the voice echoes again. Ranking verified. You can now go to the cafeteria. Before him, a deep and dark corridor unfolds, lined with identical metal doors on both sides. They're really trying to create a chief, huh? In the darkness, he lets out a quiet snort. By the third day, problems arise with capturing the nodes. Students who advocated for a direct assault initially planned to head straight for the strategic points, or to have their advance severely hindered by ambush forces along the way. Everyone suffers heavy casualties, and the injuries, simulated based on the real battlefield, are truly horrifying to witness. I mean, again, it's like, this may be cruel for simulation, but at the same time, it's like, they kind of had to at least somewhat try to mentally prepare them for the situation. Because otherwise, the shock would be that much worse when actually entering the battlefield. At least in the case of Punishing Grey Raven. I can't say the same for, like, real life. Corrupted slices open Freeman's abdomen, ripping out his internal organs. Freeman, come here. Don't go. He can't be saved. Too many corrupted over there. And he yanks Beeble by the arm and pulls him into nearby cover before the corrupted get delivered of her blow. Weren't we told that everything would be better if we launched another attack? What other options do we have? What do we do now? We have no support or supplies right now. We need to wait for reinforcements. We can't afford to advance recklessly anymore. Okay. Must be another way. We'll try again. Hanif, let's fall back. Wait for the others. And look for another opportunity. He grits his teeth as he bandages his wound, his face revealing a stubborn determination that only grows stronger with each setback. As expected, this could only be a simulation test. He temporarily withdraws from the test. Test is not over yet. Why did you stop? It's clear that I can't complete the next mission on my own. I'll have to wait for others to catch up. FOS's graduation test this time is unlike the previous ones. Instead of squad tactics, it places more emphasis on overall strategic planning. You consider the possibility that the military no longer intends to produce the kind of chief you're looking for? Focus on your own tasks. Don't speculate. Don't test us. Focus on your own tasks. Don't speculate and test us. How interesting. Use a special 30-minute free activity period to visit the Memorial Plaza, eventually placing a bundle of white flowers beneath the countless names of the fallen heroes. After that, he returned to his dormitory and enters a name he's heard countless times over the years into the Archive Center. If the simulation tests are based on events that actually happened, I'll search for the Grey River Commandant's combat records. Limited publicly available data appears before his eyes, illuminating a small dormitory room. First-person battle footage replays a Hanif's retina, showing how unusually determined the owner of the camera was. Crawling forward desperately, yet refusing to abandon any comrade, finally reaching the destination in an utterly devastated state. But even so, the people they dragged back didn't survive. The camera recording the battle footage has no emotions. The profound sadness still transmitted through the images in the heart of everyone who watches it. Great. What a complete waste of time. Why would the Grey River Commandant even do something like this? People better not learn of this. It's the dumbest approach. Trying to save everyone naturally results in saving no one. The right thing to do is to abandon those shadows that are doomed to die early. It's the battle record to get the darkness that once again falls silent around him. That's right. The existence of shadows. What is the purpose of someone like me? Even giving myself a name didn't really help with anything. Number 1364. Report your schedule today. 1600 departed, 1612 arrived at Shopping Street, but was serving a grilled artificial meat there. 1642 arrived at Dominic Memorial Plaza. Sat for a while, 17 returned. This week you've been going to the Dominic Memorial Plaza every day during your break. What's the reason? Just want to pick a good spot for myself on that monument. Please answer it seriously. I am being serious, though. It's a job with a very high mortality rate. Didn't you explicitly acknowledge that in the contract? I'm just trying to confirm one thing. Where you plan to assign me after graduation? A task force? Purifying force? Or as your private soldiers? It's not for you to decide. Don't pry into matters you shouldn't. If there's an option, I'd prefer to join the task force. As if not hearing the voice's warning, Hanif continues to talk. At the very least, leave my name behind to be remembered. After Colonel's monitor temporarily leaves, Hanif contacts Beeble. You also looking at the battle records? I don't think they're very useful. I already tried to read your combat tactics based on them, but so in complete annihilation. Don't lump me together with a paramecium like you. I've already tossed those records aside. Oh? So what new ideas do you have? I wouldn't call it an excellent new idea, but it should be useful for these simulated combat assessments. So with the next battle, help mobilize all near-combat personnel and integrate all team members so we can act together. Human wave tactics, huh? Since our only goal is to succeed, sacrificing those who are already destined to never become chief doesn't matter. It's the difference between heroes and shadows. Even novels have always divided them clearly. Besides, we have countless opportunities to try. Which is what makes this different from those battle records. We'll succeed eventually. Wait, so what's your own role in all this? Are you a hero or a shadow? I've said before, I have no interest in competing for chief. I'll always say a 10th place. Yeah. I heard you say it before. Everyone dreams about becoming someone like the grave and Commandant. Well, your dream is just another name on the memorial for the sacrificed, right? Like truly what? Don't give me that. Sorry, wanted to drink some more water. Are you really okay with something like being a few words on a piece of stone? Do you truly, willingly want to be that sacrificed shadow? I have to admit that it took someone as blunt as Beeble to ask the question he couldn't bring himself to voice. Hey, Nif. You hear me? Listen, we need to consider the worst case scenario. Go on. Something happens to Vera and me, and the mission falls to you to continue. You must find Eve, kill it, prevent a new crisis from spreading. Give these instructions you start forward with purpose. Don't worry too much. Think of it as a relay race. You must have had similar training back at FOS. Your hand sways under the weight they carry. In their tone, they seem genuinely lost in memories of their school days. No, you've made the wrong decision. You and Vera are the strongest fighters here. If something really goes wrong, I should be the first one to die. Or are you going to heroically declare that I won't leave anyone behind on the battlefield? Scout's unable to help but recall that ridiculous battle record he saw years ago. Record that came from the very person walking ahead of him. You're right. I don't need to sacrifice anyone. That includes you. I don't want to make a decision I'm bound to regret. Enough. You don't need to spare my feelings or pretend everything's fine while explaining things to me. I understand perfectly well. I may be your junior, but I'm not a child. I'll surpass you since you and I are different. Why is he suddenly so talkative? I only have some minor wounds. Don't need to treat me like an invalid and keep me in the back. Let me scout ahead. Alright. By the way, where do we leave this place? Do you want to go back to Babylonia? That's a death flag if I've ever heard one. And if suppresses all his emotions and cuts off any potential conversation. Once again, a new hope has blossomed within him. We're getting close to Eve. Listen, there's someone there. Ah, great. Divergence. Oh, okay, we're getting closer to seeing the end of the mission, right? Deep within the gene repository in a secluded room, an emaciated old man excitedly caresses the shelves before him. Shelves house his treasured creations, pulsating and arriving slowly within specially formulated cultivation fluid. My first child. My bad. Our first child, Eve, has successfully ventured out into the world. Soon it'll be your turn. Once you're born, follow Eve's path. It will generously share everything it has acquired with you. Together you can evolve into a new form of humanity. Why is the evolution process begun ahead of schedule? Though my hands freeze at the sound of the Ascendant's voice. Ephialtes, why you returned early? And you didn't bring back that human you wanted. This body of yours is quite new too. Don't tell me your previous vessel was destroyed. You look like you've had a rough journey. Answer my question first. Why are you in such a hurry? I then bring back Grey Riven's Commandant. Whose genes did you use as a catalyst? Oh, wait, he's still alive? What the hell? How? I thought Pharaoh crushed him. Or then again, I guess it's like his mind just transferred back, or maybe it's like a hive mind and these are just disposable bodies he has. 7 steps closer, filling the entire room for overwhelming pressure. The old man shows no fear. Said burst into uncontrollable laughter. You couldn't tell? I used my own embryo. The complete and pure me. If I had to trace a genetic purity from anyone else, I am their creator. The man less uncontrollably, clearly delighted with his own accomplishments. Did you know? While you were gone, I piled even more embryos into the hollow. Even I've lost count of how many there are now. Did they all hatch? The power of this island alone would be enough to terrify those swine outside. In another corner of the room, the faces of 2 people who have been eavesdropping on a conversation pale in response. He holds his breath, frantically signaling with his eyes to you. So the Ascendant's real name is Ephialtes? That hollow the old man mentioned. There are even more embryos inside. If all the embryos there hatch as well, if Eve assimilates all of them. So the tracking device hidden in their pocket begins to vibrate slightly. Down, they see a blinking red dot moving close to their location. Eve? I severely underestimate how delusional you are. Huh? Your madness has created some serious errors. The current state of Eve is not what I envisioned. Your preparation of more embryos in the hollow is completely misguided. So there's no desire to waste words on a madman. After dismissing Haynes' methods, he turns to leave. He suddenly shouts, I am not a madman! Ephialtes, is this how you reject me? Don't you want to witness the culmination of this evolution? We were once collaborators with aligned goals. Now it seems that time has come for us to part ways. What you seek is not pure evolution. You don't care at all whether human civilization evolves or not. You delude yourself as the exiled king of Zombra, merely seeking to build a realm that worships you. You don't want to improve anything. You only want to prove yourself right. There's still time. If we can bring that person back, this evolution can still return to its proper course. Yeah, because that is interesting. He actually wants a proper human evolution. But what do they gain as an ascendant for it? Or maybe that's just his own philosophy, just based on like whoever he originally was, as opposed to the professor. What's the point of evolving this human civilization that's nothing but filth and excrement? Your approach is the one that's completely wrong. Ascendant, you know exactly where that new body of yours came from. All this time, I've been the one maintaining that pile of junk you call a body. If I wanted to, I could destroy what's left of your body at any moment. It's pointless for you to rage and destroy the other frames. Even this one standing before you was but a marionette created by the punching virus. As for me personally, I won't be speaking with you face to face again. Our cooperation is over, eh? Hiding there like little insects. Did you hear the answers you were looking for? Shit. The Ascendant expected the 2 eavesdroppers to rush out immediately, but the corner remains completely silent. You certainly heard the Ascendant expose them, but neither of them moved. Even the sound of sweat dripping on the floor seems deafening in the silence. It's not that the 2 of you don't want to move. They don't dare to move. The Eve they've been searching for has found them instead, is now pressed against their back. Oh my god, yeah. I mean, I'd be scared too. I wouldn't scream. Like, that's even more than just like being between a rock and a hard place. Moments ago, you noticed the red dot on your tracking device rapidly overlapping with your own position, turning around slowly, until you found that twisted face of unfinished evolution looming right behind your heads. Don't move. It's too close. Why isn't it attacking me immediately? Surprised at both individuals, Eve simultaneously raises its hand, mirroring your movement by reaching toward its own empty waist. What the hell is this thing doing? Oh, is it copying my mindset? Because it did take a part of my blood, right? Or it was like also reading through my memories when it caught my leg. Is it mimicking me? Ring of wounds around your ankles, so throbs are pain. I mean, when it tasted you, still vivid in your mind. Yeah, that's it. You create a connection. Come on out. So you've chosen to deliver yourselves right to me. Instead of waiting outside is run out of patience, swinging their blade to slice through the shelving unit, puts it in the two eavesdroppers. Shit. Drag swiftly, unleashing a barrage of bullets at the two exposed figures when rolling out for the cabinet with hand of intel. Flash through the door amid the haze of gunsmoke. Eve, for reasons unknown, never attacks you. The situation erupts into chaos and lets out a piercing shriek and also dashes outside. Wait for me a second. Don't leave any of these children for him either. His warriors hand raising the gun and systematically destroys every shelf in sight, throwing all the vials and containers whose contents he doesn't recognize. You! So long, old man. See you never. And he gestures with his gun as he leaves the frail old man with his theatrical goodbye and quickly follows you. Is that head creature gone mad? Was that Eve? Yeah, but I have no idea why it didn't attack me. So you sprint after Eve, following the damn trail it left on the ground. When you carry Vera on your back, you try desperately to make sense of the situation, but come up with nothing. Beyond that, even more problems look before you. Did you hear the conversation between the Ascendant and that man just now? Yes, I heard every word. The Ascendant has multiple bodies. The old man has many more children. And there are more embryos. More Hydro creature reserves inside that so-called hollow. More importantly, that Ascendant clearly still wants to hunt you down. Sounds like the situation is 100 times worse than we imagined. Maybe that hollow was copying. Since it was copying us, maybe it's also running away. Like, it feels our sense of fear, right? Because we know they can have emotions, even if they're mimicking it, right? So maybe that's what it was doing. It was mimicking the fear I felt when we were running away. Talk about terrible luck. A bizarre Hydro creature ahead of us and a relentless Ascendant behind us. You're calm enough to analyze the situation. You don't look nervous at all. I am nervous. Never faced anything like this before. My life is hanging by a thread here. The reason I'm not paralyzed with fear is because I believe what's meant to happen can't be avoided. You actually believe that? For someone like me who's been forced to wade through the muck for so long, I've got to believe in something or I'd be finished. However, there's another part of my creed. What's meant to happen may be unavoidable, but beating those bad things back into the dirt is something I can do. Get down! Its bullets erupt from the gun barrel and flash up fire, striking precisely at the faces of several Hydro creatures that suddenly appear in front of them, or at the front. Right now from a revolting spiders of gore. Hydro creatures again? I knew it. Looks like the situation is worse than we expected. 120 times worse. Bit of shock comes so suddenly that you barely have time to react, stepping forward and tumbling to the ground with Vera in a controlled roll to break your fall. Mind beacon stirs slightly as a faint response emerges from Vera's dormant mind. Frame data synchronization speed seems to cross the threshold, suddenly accelerating. What stage is Vera's data transfer at? There are too many Hetero creatures. We need her strength. 90, 91%, 92%? Speed suddenly increased. Almost there. Synchronization pauses briefly at 90%, then visibly accelerates. It's absolutely fantastic! There's no time to investigate what exactly happened in Vera's mind. Just as you grit your teeth to stand up, the mind beacon suddenly feels a surge of warmth. Like a surge of flames rushing forward. Completely reversing from the mind beacon, guiding the data forward to the data, dragging the mind beacon along with it in a wild sprint. Furthermore, to the mind beacon's probing, fragments of Vera's memory data occasionally flash blurrily before your eyes. It shocks you, yet leaves no time for deeper contemplation, is that these fragments repeatedly flash with an incredibly familiar figure. Looking in a mirror, it's that person's yourself. Why don't I remember any of this? As long as the Ascendant doesn't catch up too quickly, we still have a chance once we deal with those Hetero creatures. Check which one is Eve. I suspect it's hiding in there. That hurt. Dull pain resurfaces inside your skull, probably to cover an old scar on your head. No one knows the exact origin of the scar. You mean you only know it was acquired sometime before graduation? Huh? Hey, what's wrong with you? You can't fall apart in a place like this. Before Hanev can finish his words, the familiar gray-haired Ascendant appears around the corner. Ah, no. I have no intention of killing you. Are you even listening to yourself? Those Hero creatures are running wild! Xanthos, this is the last time I'll invite you peacefully. While that old man and I shared some common goals, as you just heard, he has already used other human genetic samples to catalyze evolution before I could act. Ah, I see. Yeah, because it will contaminate the potential of the perfect human, right? Or their evolution. Because by using constant others that it's like he hasn't been able to check out, it wouldn't like guarantee that they would have a success. They're still evolving, but most are imperfect, having deviated from the intended path. What's this supposed to be? Infighting among you villains? Let's get to the chase. You're here to capture me. Switching feet of pain, sitting various sides to directly face the Ascendant. Meanwhile, the Mind Beacon continues reading fragments of various memory data, making the current events seem intertwined with another story on the game. Telling Kiana to get both sides of sharing a visceral experience. Xanthos, I need you to catalyze this evolution onto the correct path. He stands at a distance, extending an inviting hand toward you. He's gonna utter these words. You aren't the only one frantically thinking of a plan. And he seems to have an idea too, quickly moving close to you to whisper. Did you hear that? I wanted to tell you this when we were outside. But I'm punishing you're just food. A catalyst, fertilizer, anything but a person. Don't go with that Ascendant. I have an idea. How about we put on another act? Even a simple trick is worth trying, because I'm certain of one thing. You're important to the Ascendant. The situation takes some turn. Opposite ally's gun now pressed against your temple, and his hand clamps around your throat. Ah, I see. Making me a hostage. What a shame. I'm not this Commandant's lackey. Quite the opposite. I'm from Kurano. I'm very interested in this one myself. His Obed's collar brazenly displaying the Kurano insignia before he said, Ascendant, you've been watching Babylonia long enough. You must know I'm telling the truth, right? Kurano is also very eager to engineer a chief. With their body, genes, memories, they're all valuable to Kurano. Besides that, I also firmly believe in one principle. Extremely dangerous situations, a Grey River's commander can't be obtained. Then destroying them is the next best solution. I don't hold grudges, Grey River Commander. But you nearly strangled me in front of the entire Aurora Squadron back then. And now I'm returning the favor. Down, my children. All except one, which was violently under the Ascendant's command, he steadily remained standing. No eyes, yet feels its gaze focused intently on you. Oh wait, is that Eve? Pertaining to the others? So Eve was hiding in there after all. He slowly backs away with you as his hostage, creating what he deems a safer distance. Good, Ascendant. Now make these frenzied Hero creatures back off immediately, or neither of us will get what we want. Ascendant silently observes Hannah's movements without responding. Feel an uncanny tension as if your heart is being gripped and forced to pump. Xanthos, retreat to safety soon. His gaze shifts to your face, and understands his intentions and try to stop him. Wait, Hanev! Hanev! It's already too late. Sending condenses surging, punishing energy into a cone. Stick blasting away Hanev's gun, wielding left arm. Flesh, blood, and bone vaporize in the air, leaving only a horrifying void where his arm once was. Crawling Hero creatures is excitedly lifting their heads to lick the red mist hanging in the air. Overwhelmed by excruciating pain, Hanev lets go of his whip and collapses to his knees. Fortunately, the Ascendant remains unmoved as a mountain. They just finished savoring a good joke. Did you think you could use this as a distraction to escape the Grey Roots, Commandant? You're just like Haynes, full of nothing but cheap tricks. And I know one truth very well. For absolute power, any strategy is meaningless. So they completely withdraws their inviting gesture, to the extent to target you and Vero like slumped against a wall. To have in front of Varen simultaneously, another blast shoots forth, as due to tending your lower leg. Arterial blood spurts from the wound instantly sucking through your pant leg. Stops the bleeding. For emergency first aid protocols and greater memory, you clamp down the leg wound to stem the bleeding. No, pain at first. No, Vero also. The situation is rapidly deteriorating. Behind you, the more severely wounded victim moans in agony. The throbbing mind beacon feeds back its synchronization progress, Vero lying before you. 94%. Stay calm. It remains trapped in agony while the threat of both the Ascendant and Hetero creatures continue to close in. Body stretched in a cold sweat, yet painted paradoxically. Brings clarity to your thoughts. Not far from you, Eve stands behind the Ascendant, mimicking your leg gripping motion like a monkey. Her entire body trembles as she potentially experiences the same excruciating pain. Other Hetero creatures begin to tremble as well, some gradually breaking free from the Ascendant's control, and Eve potentially mimicking your movements in a manner both ridiculous and sickening. Looks like Eve's assimilation has already begun. I apologize, but I must restrict your movement. Oh, by me attacking him, maybe the other Hetero creatures will attack him too. Like turning on their master, especially with Eve being the new leader in the pack. It's useless! Quick, just run! He's right. That thing is useless against me. Gaze darts back and forth between the Ascendant and the Hetero creatures beside him. Suddenly a desperate idea forms. What if I do this? Instead of attacking the Ascendant, you point a gun at yourselves. If I die, you'll never get what you want. You're insane! Are you really threatening me with death? The Ascendant seems somewhat disappointed by your reaction. Meanwhile, the Hetero creatures diligently mimic you, pointing their sharp appendages at their own hands, trailing around a gesture. They scrap of fabric from your pant leg so it clings to Eve's mouth. In that case, I'll use you to my advantage. Your gun is still pointed at yourself. Don't get distracted. Should I thank you for the heads up? You should value yourself more. After all, you're destined to become their host, the source of their evolution. Your leg hurts, doesn't it? Don't just focus on me. What about your story? The story you told me on the ocean earlier. No need to finish it. You can already guess the ending. I won't waste words. Put the gun down. I can, but I suggest you take care of your children first. Despite agonizing pain tormenting everyone present, you tilt your head slightly, pressing the heated gun barrel directly against your temple, your circular brand on your skin. At the same time, the mimicry-prone Hetero creatures following Eve's lead all gently tilt their heads in unison. I confirmed it. I repeat for the second time. Put down the gun. I won't say it a third time or I'll take your forearm too. Fine. Let's make a bet then. You suddenly start pulling Varen and Haynes back as you retreated, aiming the gun directly at the Ascendant. You're not running. Are you insane? You're completely mad. Haynes, watch this. I told you this won't work on him. Get out of the way. With your severed arm, Haynes once again attempts to rush in front of you and Varen. The unfolds like a slow-motion sequence. It lunges forward, attempting once more to shield others from the attack provoked by the Ascendant's anger. Meanwhile, the bullet that's seen as absolutely useless by everyone is separately fired from the chamber anyway. It tears to the air, thick with punishing energy and a surge of blood hurtling toward the Ascendant shows nothing but contempt for it. Useless. Is it really useless? Still post from your leg, yet you remain standing, roaring at the Ascendant ferociously. You never truly felt alive until this moment. Oh, I get it. They're thinking the gun, because they're not holding another weapon, the gun is just an extension of their hand. So by pointing it and shooting at him, maybe they'll attack him too with their hands that they were using to follow along with my act. A useless bullet halts in front of the Ascendant, torn to shreds by punishing an agent. But Eve, who had been standing right beside the Ascendant, suddenly erupts into a blur of motion. The supporting sound, it twists with increasing excitement, ready to press it forwards and growls in its throat as it instantly drives its sharp hand into the bullet's intended target, to the Ascendant's chest cavity. Yep. Literally like sending a signal. Ascendant, you were right. Eve is truly special. Sluggish flow of time ends here, and within an instant, tables a turn. With Eve restraining the Ascendant, temporarily holding it in place, you see this moment of respite to Yakanev. There's only 1.5 arms left off the ground. But you... keep mimicking. Keep assimilating. Flames of rebellion remain, so burning fiercely. Viciously unload your remaining bullets over the Ascendant. The next moment, it's no longer just Eve, as all the hetero creatures assimilated by Eve ride together, switching upward like tides of vicious crimson, but the Ascendant with terrifying speed. Even though these hetero creatures are all following the guidance of Eve, witnessing this horrific scene still evokes complicated emotions. Have they gone mad? They're not just insane, they're actually evolving. If they're not crazy, why are they attacking the Ascendant? Who taught them that? You? Eve is mimicking me. I was referring for it, and the tearing sounds of the hetero creature's pack hunt. Remove the exoskeleton from your legs, hand it to Hanef along with your emergency medical supply. Secure this equipment and find a hollow. What do you mean? What about you? My leg is injured, so I can't move. Eve is interested in me, so I need to keep it here. It's back, and sure enough, Eve has already lifted itself and the Ascendant's remains, tilting itself to look in your direction. Vera. She's about to wake up too. I need to be by her side. You know something's wrong with Vera. Even if she doesn't wake up, you're just waiting to die. Even if Vera doesn't wake up, I won't just sit and wait for... I know what you're thinking. Even if you fail to eliminate Eve, you'll buy me time to destroy the embryos in the hollow. Then, these hetero creature forces won't be overwhelmingly powerful. But you're the one who should be the hero who makes it to the end. Why? Even knowing that this is their best option right now, Hannah still needs to ask. There's the with red eyes, knowing full well how many disasters you lived through, how many times you've been the only hero to emerge from catastrophe. What he can understand is why you would so readily pass the torch to him for this new challenge. But I'm the one who... I've always been waiting as a shadow. Someone has to keep running. Remember what I told you back then? Say it to me. Stop hitting his face hard, forcing him to stay conscious, despite the excruciating pain from his severed arm. The hands come together to cross over water, so mushrooms become the outer shell. Just take a deep breath, Hannah looks one last time at your injured leg before grabbing and putting on the exoskeleton. I really hate being a hero. No, you're just afraid. You just feel unworthy. Even now, you see right through me. I repeat, if something happens to you and Vera, I'll take over and continue the mission. Princess Tifa repeats the words. Good. Bond your wounds, endure the pain. I will destroy the remaining embryos in the hollow. Absolutely prevent this disaster from spreading any further. Damn, look at these. Look at the Commandant finally taking it to an Ascendant. Blade dance. Alright, here we go, 95%. Alright, now I'm actually gonna go back to the memory. Or is this still gonna continue to the present? Amidst human Hannah's desperate life and death struggle, Vera's data synchronization accelerates frantically, going faster and faster. Punished fluid and blood splash onto her, pulling into a single drop of liquid, slowly trickling from the corner of her eye to the corner of her lips. Data synchronization between her or her old and new frame is nearly complete. Okay. After traversing all of Vera's memories, the haunting stories she can never forget is turned once again to its final chapter. The chapter reads as follows. So began their final desperate fight or flight together. Fortune showed them no favor. The transport vehicle which they expected to run normally for some time unexpectedly broke down shortly after they set out. After checking it, Vera concluded, well, any vehicle I drive never survives more than 2 hours anyway. He stood silently in front of the vehicle for a moment, accepting the reality, and then the two of you began their journey on foot earlier than planned. However, even though you could mentally accept the situation, physically you were reaching a limit. Tiny snowflakes landed on your body, quickly soaking your clothes into a cold, rigid shell. Your mind grew foggy as your wounds became infected, sending your body temperature soaring. How high is this fever? Mind connection. You should rest a bit. Close your eyes for a while. Seeing your pace gradually slow down, she reaches out unprompted and wraps your arm around your shoulders for support. The mind connection is holding strong. You're doing well. She even attempted to give you an awkward compliment. Would that be alright? Can you really? Days of arduous travel left you utterly exhausted. While Vera gives her approval, you eagerly close your eyes without a second's delay. I'll wake you up in 5 minutes. Promise. Some tug at the waist. Vera yanks the rope just before you collapse. Then comes the sensation of being dragged. Felt by darkness and pain, you lack even the strength to struggle. You're only vaguely aware of being hoisted onto someone's back, feeling a momentary stagger before being carried forward with jolting steps. Gunshots ring out through the the haze. Blades scrape against metal, grab the creatures shriek in the distance. Fine snowflakes continue to fall, soaking your hair and dampening the bandages wrapped around your face. The wet, stifling sensation makes it difficult to breathe. In discomfort, you attempt to call out that name. After being briefly laid on the ground, you feel the bandages around your mouth and nose being loosened. Then you're lifted again, this time cradled like a small or fragile infant. Soon you hear the humming of the construct's power core running at high speed within her chest cavity. So different from listening to a heartbeat. Vera. Finally surrender to your fatigue, sinking completely into a feverish slumber. Time passes in a blur, until you start to wake with a deep gasping breath. Darkness surrounds you like death itself. Pain radiates through your entire bodies, especially the unbearable agony in your abdomen. Piercing through the haze of pain, a faint sound reaches your ears. As your eyes slowly adjust to the darkness, you realize you're leaning against something. A small lock of soft crimson hairs in your palm. Vera's voice breaks the silence again. Where is it? Where did it go? It was just here. She's muttering to herself, searching for something. Found it. You're awake. The blurry red figure shifts, reaches out and places her hand on your cheek. Yes, the fire is here. Slowly raising your aching arm, pointing at the red blur. She grabs your fingers and firmly pushes your hand back down. I didn't ask you. You're hallucinating from the fever. The fire's here. Found it. She's holding a primitive lighter in her hand. With a click, a small flickering flame appears. We have fire now. I found a lighter, but all the firewood got soaked. Not sure if it can still be lit. Light his flame, licks at a bundle of sticks and dry grass, but the wood refuses to catch. I knew it. Red figure grows irritated and puts away the useless lighter. Frowns at you for a moment, then heaves out a characteristically deep sigh before extending her arms and pulling you completely into her embrace. I guess we'll have to make do with a construct's body heat. Keep losing temperature like this and you'll actually die. While we're at this, Fairy lifts the rain-soaked bandages on your face slightly, finally allowing you to breathe into the cold air. You were unconsciously pulling at your bandages earlier. Looked uncomfortable. I checked and I think we could try removing them. Voice can't hide her exhaustion. I get the energy to form her usual arsenal of sharp words. This long, grueling journey has worn down more than just you. Don't freak out. If I wanted to hurt you, I would have done it a long time ago. Besides, I was a support construct for a long time. There. All removed. As the last bandage comes off, the scene before your eyes finally becomes clear. Haphazardly collapsed concrete blocks surround the two of you, likely underneath a pile of ruins. Relax. Your face isn't ruined. Not that I can find a mirror right now anyway. Thanks, Vera. No memory resets this time. Raise an eyebrow, slightly surprised to hear you address her by name. Before, every time you fell asleep or woke up, your memory would reset to when you first arrived on the surface. Had no choice but to fabricate some memories for you each time. She suddenly gives a label to her actions, fabrications. Just as suddenly as when she admitted to being a colonel construct on the front lines of Conservation Area 62 today. I'll explain everything clearly from now on. At the very least, I'll lay out the most important things. There won't be a better opportunity than this. Sure. Alright. This is my real appearance. The hair color and mask I wore before were just a disguise. It deceived you all. I mean, we already knew that. Or, I guess maybe because our mind wasn't stable and we were going in and out. It was like, it's only showing us her like this now, but like the entire time we only saw her with like the brown hair and a mask. At least from the point of when we were first unconscious, trying to take the hit for Vera. You've already connected to my mind, so there's no need for me to keep up this act. You don't need to waste energy pretending not to notice anymore. Besides, your head still isn't fixed. Once this whole mess is over and you return to Babylonia, you probably won't remember me anyway. This up helps you to do the same, then clicks a light around again. Pulls the light between the two of you. It's a fucking flame illuminating both your faces. Only now are the two of you finally able to face each other with complete honesty. Allow me to reintroduce myself. I'm a construct from Colonel's Special Operations Division, codename Hound. I'm not a construct from Babylonia. I wasn't supposed to have any contact with FOS college students. But you possess test materials that I need to bring back to Coronel. She points at the sample container still tightly fastened to your body. Don't question the authenticity of those test materials. I didn't fake their function either. Otherwise, with your reckless behavior, your guts would be all over the floor by now. Yeah, that's true. So you actually plan to take both me and the materials back to Coronel? Colonel's Hound nods, tone turning cold as she seems to fully return to her identity as a Colonel Special Operations Division member. But you got lucky. The Colonel Stronghold I was supposed to return to fell to the disaster. With nowhere to report back to, I had no choice but to drag you around with me. Departing from that field hospital, rescuing refugees trapped in panic, and coincidentally meeting a fellow student from FOS, receiving the key to solving this crisis from him, then continuing on our journey after he passed the baton to us like runners in a relay race. I'm Xanthos. I never changed. Of course I know, little Commandant. What about Vera? Is that a fake name too? Vera hesitates, a fleeting expression crossing her face. She speaks again. She seems to return to being Vera.
It's my real name. I didn't lie about everything. Shouldn't that make you happy? You don't seem particularly surprised.
Stares steadily into Vera's eyes, ultimately choosing not to answer her question. Change the subject instead. Why are you telling me this now? Are we heading toward Corona right now?
No, there's no need for that anymore. I've assessed the situation. The other Corona bases nearby have been equally devastated, so there's nowhere to submit the materials. The sample is extremely important. If it's not delivered to the right place, the disaster will never end. When the punishing virus first broke out, I was a soldier who received a similar sample transport mission. Come to think of it, your current situation is quite similar to mine back then. Unfortunately, I was a few steps too slow, which meant I only received synchronized information about the punishing virus 7 days after the outbreak.
Ah, right, when that happened. And lowering her head, remembering the last time, during the earliest days of the punishing virus outbreak, when she participated in that doomed relay.
And because of that, I underwent construct modification. It seems I'm trapped in some mysterious loop of fate, doomed to tragedy every few years.
This time will definitely be different. Without you, it wouldn't have been possible to deliver the sample this far. Even though you're not from Babylonia, you still...
Stop. I refuse to be described with noble-sounding words, and save your niceties for next time, if we survive that long. First, we have to face the most immediate problem. Forget about me forcing you to some godforsaken place. You can't even get out of here alive.
At these words, you look around at your surroundings once more. Where are we?
For now, we're underneath a collapsed basement. Just think of it as taking shelter from the snow. Such annoying weather.
She says just taking shelter from the snow, but in reality, even you can hear the corrupted shrieking outside. Is there any good news?
Yeah, our destination is right ahead. All we need to do is cross this last stretch of ruins, and we'll succeed in our mission.
How difficult will it be to cross these ruins?
We'll need to fight for our lives, and I'm not exaggerating.
The brief exchange ends. Success is right before your eyes, but both feel the crushing weight of how difficult it will be to reach.
Any other questions? If not, save your breath. You need to conserve your stamina.
Vera points to the side of your abdomen. The crack in the sample container has been tightly sealed, but the sample inside has already begun to slowly corrupt your flesh. Stinging pain has turned to numbness. Even you don't know whether you'll deliver the sample first or be killed by it first.
I wonder if this has to do with how we can adapt to the corruption a bit, right? Because later on, we already do know that it's like we have a better resistance when establishing a mind connection with Ascendants, like we did with Luna, right? Is this maybe like a part of the reason why, or is this just some event that happened and we don't reflect back on it? Because I would assume that's the case. Because again, it's like no human should really have the adaptability, but if it's like it was like this slow of a development over time, then maybe it is possible. Like, not like a super strong antibody, but at least some defense. Let's move out. Are you sure about this?
That patch won't hold for long. Or you could just dig up the sample out of my gut.
Forget it. You can't be a hero if you die halfway there.
I never said I wanted to be a hero.
The world is full of roads you don't want to walk. But when fate puts you on one, you just had to accept it. Anyway, you can't die until you made full use of me.
After a moment of contemplation, Vera seems to have made a decision. Vera grabs your hand and places it above her collarbone. A subtle plug-like device is embedded.
Like this. Pull it out.
But didn't you say if it's removed, everything would... An uneasy feeling stirs within you. Vera's fingertips guiding them, you're forced to pull out the device. This action, all engines in a frame begin to roar. Even the tips of Vera's hair amidst the burning light. Faint red glow slowly flows from Vera's collarbone. The substance between gas and liquids, soundly dissolving into the air.
Those Kurina lunatics would be furious if they knew about this.
Did I just do something wrong?
Yeah. We've been wrong from the very beginning. I realized that long ago. Might as well commit to our mistakes until the end. Establish a signal, something we can use to contact each other.
Don't immediately respond as growing unease washes over you. Something feels wrong, as if a storm is brewing beneath the quiet ruins.
Cat got your tongue.
Why do we need a signal all of a sudden? Under what circumstances will we need a signal to call each other?
Don't overthink it. It's just standard procedure before setting out. Didn't FOS teach you that? We won't be separated. The damn rope is still binding us together. Come on, anything will do. Just whistle. I'm more used to that anyway.
Gaze suddenly drifts off into the distance, lost in some unspoken memory. Let's go with that then.
Got it. What does that signal mean?
Our red team creates new signals for every operation. They don't have any special meaning.
Alright. I'll remember that. The meaningless whistle.
Valley Fair reaches out and touches your forehead.
Your temperature's still so high. You're quite tough to still be talking. Fine. It's our only option. We're leaving now. I'll carry you on my back. You're moving too slowly in your condition. Let me make this clear. They're corrupted everywhere outside. Stick your head out and you'll be a walking target. I'm carrying you, keep quiet. I'll put you down, run as fast as you can. They catch us, we're finished. Got it?
Okay. Let me connect with you now. Connection broke when I fell asleep earlier.
That won't be necessary. Just take care of yourself.
There probably is many things left unsaid, but your fever out of the brain files it all under we'll talk about this later. You conveniently climb onto her back, left you to sample against your atom. Like a newly christened hero setting out from a small-time village with a rusty blade. Two emerge from the crevice, standing exposed atop the ruins. Scorching breath forms steam behind Vera's ear, quickly swept away by the cold wind, along with the fading light from Vera's. His favorite trace of life attracts all the wandering corrupted nearby. They surge toward the two of you from every direction.
Little Commandant, no matter what happens, even if you end up crawling pathetically, you must always track yourself one step further. As long as you refuse to be trapped by despair, someone will always be there to catch you.
She steps forward. As the ragged hero embarks on their final journey, a nearby base faces its own moment of truth. Large numbers of corrupted detect their approach to the base. Estimated time remaining 50 minutes. Still not getting through. None of our rescue teams have returned, sir. It's been 4 days already. All preparations are complete, ready to evacuate at any moment. He needs to make a decision. Behind the soldiers, a young face clutches a terminal, desperately pleading for something. Why can't I get through to them? Oh, the other commandant, right? Holy Joe holds the FOS-issued terminal like a supplicant before a shrine, muttering desperate prayers. Ah, I see. The reinforcements, right? Just give me something. Please! If this base evacuates too, there'll be no way to get you out. Oh, damn, I don't remember the voice I gave on the show. When the outbreak happened, he was lying low in a remote location away from populated areas, unaware he'd survived Corrupted's first wave of attacks. From his perspective, his classmates' signals all vanished at the same time. At the die, he was like a child abandoned during hide-and-seek. Finally found the perfect hiding spot, only for everyone else to be called home for dinner. Unable to contact anyone, he emerged bewildered from his hiding place and stood in an open area contemplating his existence. Coincidentally, blocking the path of an armored vehicle full of soldiers. These told picked up this dazed FOS youth and brought him aboard. After a long, bumpy journey, he was stationed at this relatively well-equipped base. I heard you got good grades in communication studies. Yes, that's right, sir. So, through a series of fortunate coincidences, Harley Joe became a temporarily enlisted communications soldier. Besides coordinating remote nearby squads, Harley Joe never gave up trying to contact his classmates. As time passes, His worst fears began turning into reality.
Santos? Vanessa? Simon? It's beyond disastrous, isn't it? 3 of our top 10 students completely vanished without a trace. Harley Joe. Yes, sir. Get ready. You're the youngest among us. Are we really evacuating?
Harley Joe feels tears welling up. Simply can't accept losing so many friends before graduation.
No, Harley Joe. You're...
The commanding officer wears a complicated expression, saying something to the young man, but Harley Joe doesn't catch it. His attention is suddenly diverted, because the terminal in his pocket suddenly emits an urgent series of beeps. Oh, wait, is this group actually Kurano? Like maybe it's one of their last bases left? Maybe?
Wait, Commander! It's them! It's my classmate! Santos' signal's approaching our location.
As Harley Joe holds up his terminal and shouts, Vera, sprinting with you on her back, begins to recall many things. Or rather, ever since she met you, a strange human, she's been unconsciously recalling her own past in various ways. First, she recalls her biological parents, whom she only met a few times. Fortunately, these memories are from when she was too young. Only blurry shadows remain along with the silken texture of her mother's red hair. Skipping over her irritating distant relatives, she surprisingly finds the second memory is of her instructor and a doctor. She knew her instructor had always looked after her, even helped her secure a good position after graduation that would have kept her away from many unsavory situations. She's also aware that Dr. Gwyneth was her sponsor. Despite having graduated not long ago herself and earning a meager wage, Gwyneth willingly took extra night shifts to support her education.
How did you get injured during training again? Is it really necessary to push yourself this hard?
Ah, I see. That's why she always cared about Vera, because she actively did want to support her.
Just a simple bandage will do. Thanks. Be honest with me. Did someone pick a fight with you again? What? Are you gonna tattle to my kindergarten? I couldn't care less. Besides, they got beaten pretty badly too. It's military school after all. It's bound to have a culture that values strength. One of them, I smashed his tailbone. Now he waddles when he walks. Vera.
Back then, she could still laugh heartily.
I haven't wasted my sponsor's money. I've learned to be tough. I'll keep getting promoted from here on out. Even if you think it's childish. Hey, wherever I get transferred later, you should follow me. I'll look after you. You want to work these exhausting triple shifts anymore. Listen to yourself making some childish talk. I want to reset the bone now, so don't make a fuss. There, at the graduation with little Vera, will live the life she wants. She'll be free then.
Doctor murmurs as she slowly applies the bandage.
Able to venture wherever you wish. Make all your dreams come true.
Offers her a heartfelt blessing to Vera. Blessing given before the punishing outbreak. When the punishing destroyed everything, only one sentence of that blessing remained.
Don't ever break yourself for anything.
She never listened to Gwyneth's words. On the contrary, she imitated Gwyneth, always holding back the threshold whenever crisis approached. Before Average Joe was killed, she sacrificed her arm. Before Hummingbird and Little Bee were killed, she sacrificed her left eye. Not just once, but day after day, she tried to break herself, treating her flesh and blood to fulfill a dream, keep more of the people she cherished alive. Never worked.
Able to venture wherever you wish and make all your dreams come true. None of it came true. Today I'll be damned if I don't make at least one dream come true. If an arm and left eye were enough, then I'll use something more important.
As to your shallow breast beside her ear, will also hear the shrieks of corrupted drawing closer. Flesh and blood are yours to consume, grant you the freedom to bask in the sun. If a small spark isn't enough, then I'll give you the entire sun. She suddenly pauses, setting you down on the ground. In truth, when Granny Wang and the others brought her to you, she actually realized the truth behind this entire relay.
The you out there must be worried sick by now.
Me out there?
Not you right now, but their future you. Looks like you really did it. Perhaps I might rely on you a little more in the future.
I don't understand, but that's good.
Someone like you. When the day comes that you're ready to sacrifice yourself for something, there'll surely be many people rushing to stop you. You probably don't remember, but when we first met, I called you a fragile flower from Babylonia. And you countered that you'd prove me wrong. You proved me wrong many times already. Now, I'll help you. Not just because I want to help you, but to help myself as well.
Brandy's on one knee looking up, as the light traces your silhouette with unusual clarity. The tearing pain in her mind becomes increasingly impossible to ignore.
I don't want to lose you to a bad end. I don't want you to end up like me. I want my little Commandant to be able to venture wherever you wish, make all your dreams come true. I want your story to shine brilliantly from the very beginning, my hero.
I'll do the same. If anything happens to you, I wish to protect you too. Ray seems to understand, letting out a soft chuckle.
It's not much of a blessing after all. So, when this is all over, before your memory resets, let's give each other that moment. Put aside all prejudice and misunderstandings. Like normal comrades, embrace.
Sure. It's a deal. Ties the rope around both their waists and takes the terminal that had been hanging at your side.
By the way, take the terminal for now. I haven't had to hand it over with all that information about kernel constructs.
Ah, I see. So that's why he didn't have the memory even after that, because maybe a reset happened, or maybe because of the mind connection we've had for so long. Since the Commandant was in the best state, he had one last reset. Doing all this, she draws her weapon and faces the ring.
Ready? I count to 3. Then you run forward with the sample. Don't worry. We're bound by this rope. I won't leave you. 3, 2, 1.
As the corrupted attack, you force your aching legs into motion and run forward in long strides. The rope unfurls as you hear a whoosh. The rope rapidly extending through the air, followed by sudden tension against your waist. They're on the other end. Keep running. Sounds of combat quickly reach your ears as various blades slices through the disaster behind the two of you. While looking back, you push forward with the sounds of fierce combat behind you, spying the base buildings ahead soon after. Ah, maybe it's like she's getting me to run first, and when I'm stuck with the adrenaline, she'll release the rope.
No, Holly Joe, I came specifically to inform you. We're not evacuating. Everyone, grab all your gear. Consider yourselves the last line of defense for the safe area. If we fail to, then bomb this place to the ground. Absolutely cannot let the disaster spread. But you're the youngest. You could. Wait, Commander! It's them. It's my classmate. His signal is approaching our location. I need to join the rescue. There's still time.
Before collapsing from exhaustion, you catch sight of your destination. Perhaps having confirmed the state of the approaching figures, several fully armed soldiers rush out from the base ahead, sprinting toward you. At this moment, everyone welcomes the long-awaited hero. At this day, the hero finally arrives at the starting line of their destiny.
Simple. Here.
No one remains to bestow honors upon the hero. This journey itself stands as the greatest testament. Student name, Reverend daughter, Vanessa, Simon, Granny Wang, Leia, Sheepdog, and a construct who doesn't belong to Babylonia, who also witnessed the hero's courage every step of the way. Yes, and a construct too. To get the red figure, you stumble and crash heavily to the ground. Names and fragments of memory scatter from your mind in turbulence. At the same time, countless hands reach out to help. Suddenly grab hold of the final question lingering in your mind, making you desperately twist to look back. Is the rope even that long? Yeah, that's what I thought. See one end of the rope. A roughly cut robe drags on the ground, stained with blood and vital fluid. That figure is nowhere to be seen. The battle-scarred construct shakes off a corrupted and stands once more. For in her mind, that person's mind beacon still connects to her. So stable and reassuring. Years of tempering have indeed shaped them into a better person. She can still feel traces of anguish through the beacon, so she knows the little Commandant is desperately doing everything in their power.
I understand now.
A nearly frantic alarm sounds from the base ahead. The sound of your calls for her. She has no time to respond.
Don't be angry. Don't be sad. Between you and me, a rough start was inevitable. Yeah, that's how it was. But we were both endlessly defiant, so we struggled on, until one day our story found its continuation. That's why I say this isn't a tragedy.
Snaps her spear in two, wielding both pieces as her arms swing the weapons. Flames scatter the falling snow. Horns her blade dance as an offering to a story for both beginning and end. Even as her life drains from her chest, even as the darkness from her mind devours her, she refuses to stop.
Grief can only last for 1 second. After that second, I'll come back to you.
Damn, so that's the whole story. Evolve. Her frame suddenly burns, tips of her hair igniting to a fiery red, her eyebrows tightly knitted together. Meanwhile, the head of a creature named Eve lifts its head for the Ascendant's mangled remains. While just 2 haggard humanoids gather supplies. The mother forcefully pushes away the one-armed waste material. Climbs off the Ascendant's remains, slowly approaching the humans as the other assimilated hetero creatures begin to follow suit. Cover-hand its movements, opening fire on the slowly crawling hetero creatures approaching you, turning back its siblings. It nimbly dodges the bullets, understanding that it's a more advanced being, a child more worthy of getting close to mother. Dwayne vanishes at the far end of the corridor.
Be gentle, please.
Raise the gun is now almost pointless. The hetero creature before them seems to understand that this blackness is about to lose its killing power. Directly grasp the concept that the bullets are almost depleted. Stares at you, lowering his body even closer to the ground. But he remembers that underwater entanglement. Provided it with incredibly rich yet refined information. You're deeply enchanted this thing. The humans are too fragile. Bones to snap with a mere bend and remarkably soft muscles, blood vessels, and skin. Simply allowing itself to get close will corrode everything. Can't have affectionate. Can't press too close. It's getting a little closer. Just being intimate for a moment would be enough. So it approaches with extreme caution, not daring to make even a sound, looking for closeness. Longs for the parent to give it a hug. Damn it. Only 1 bullet remains in the gun, yet the hetero creature continues to approach with curiosity. No choice but to pull very long while dragging your injured leg backward inch by inch. If Vera saw me like this, she'd definitely mock me, wouldn't she? So close. It's already at 98% synchronization. Sleepy Beauty furrows her brow, seemingly irritated by everything in the outside world. Also feel like struggles firsthand to her turbulent mind. From that time at sea until now. No, not just that. It's from the end of the Golden Age until now. Her mind began to detect numerous blurred fragments within Vera's mind. The most emotionally conflicting of these is undoubtedly the fragment seen through Vera's third-person perspective. The fragment about yourself. I haven't fully remembered yet. Sharp pains appear to shoot through your head as long dormant memory shards bob up and down on the surface, still impossible to grasp with certainty. Without a doubt, both of you need a proper reunion. So, how can I fall here? With your team raising your gun once more, they aim at the corrupted lunging toward the 2 of you. Put it down. Don't resist. You with just one bullet left, you fight with everything you've got.
Come closer. Just a bit closer.
Her other hand grips Vera's waist tightly, unable to ignore the increasingly violent tempest raging within her mind.
You're anxious too, Vera? Doing exactly what you told me. No matter what happens, even if you end up crawling pathetically, you must always drag yourself one step further. As long as you refuse to be trapped by despair, someone will always be there to catch you. Even if I have to crawl, I'll still drag myself forward, one step at a time.
And Vera being called upon, you hear something. She wakes with a start, only to find herself in complete darkness, where it feels like tides ebbing and flowing beneath her, washing over her limbs.
What was that sound just now?
Memory data is fragmented. She only remembers using her little Commandant to pull out the safety pin, completely unleashing the power of this test frame. She cuts the ropes and watches the person ran toward the base of the sample.
What about me?
She tries to lift her hand, only to see it covered in bright red, around vital fluid. She remembers fragments. She stayed behind as the rear guard continuously staying corrupted until vital fluid poured out from every opening in her body, groups and flooding her vision. Only when the red deepened into darkness did she finally collapse upon the ruins.
Am I dead? How can I die now? I was looking forward to teasing that fearless little Commandant. It's gonna be the perfect opportunity.
At that moment, a beam of light slowly illuminates the dark waters. She stares intently at the beam of light to get full 2 seconds to realize what it is. Someone's mind beacon. Consciousness still stuck in the earlier state, not yet fully adjusted to mind beacon connection methods. She instinctively says your name, she props herself up, wandering through the data streams of her mind and hurries forward. Splashy water echoes all around. Each step she crosses another fragment of reality, restoring another piece of her memories.
I remember now.
Now she remembers everything. During the data synchronization process, promised her little Commandant she would return to reality just 1 second later. And the reality is, you and her, with you as the grave of Commandant, encountered descendants at sea, became stranded on this island with its hidden gene repository. Her Gardner frame was on the verge of complete failure, automatically entered hibernation mode. Support aircraft sent by Kurano only dropped that old test frame from years ago. You chose to save her. You had to save her by replacing her frame.
Damn it. That frame barely passed the Berserk test back then. It's recalled after going haywire during its very first mission.
She knows Kurano loves exploring loopholes. Never expected they would take advantage of even this situation, actually reactivating a frame that should have been sealed away long ago. And worse, she discovers that the internal circuitry seems even more extreme than it was back then.
So you've been iterating on this design all these years.
Suddenly knows something even more important, touched the area between her collarbones. Only now does she realize that where the safety lock should be is nothing but empty space.
Removing the safety lock before deployment. Are they trying to test this frame's upper limits?
Ah, maybe hoping she goes haywire and just destroys everything? Once again, the mandatory testing protocol executes by default, trapping her within her mind. Electronic voice resonates about her. I was the shadow of the waxwing slain by the false azure in the window pane. Ah, shit, this phrase again. The battlefield of punishing is complex. Your companions could be killed by hidden creatures any moment. This fills you with rage.
No. I absolutely will not allow this.
As much forward, watches the mind beacon's light begins to flicker erratically. Such as the massive number of header creatures surrounding them, while you keep firing to hold them back, striking an injured leg. There are almost no more bullets left. After witnessing your companion's sacrifice, you believe you develop psychological trauma. More serious symptoms were mind drift. She realizes that Eve has nimbly dodged the bullets and sunk its teeth to your side.
I need to move faster.
While fighting for the goal of reclaiming Earth, you feel that all of this might be false.
I know what is real.
Where you stand is still on the living shore of the river Styx. Plunges toward the mind beacon, but in that very same second, test failed. A authorization terminated. Plummets back into the sea. Frame authorization terminated. Data synchronization declaring failure at the final moment. Our mind is confined within a narrow corner of starless night. So data model instantly degrades back to that of a garnet frame. The electronic voice monotonously delivers its final statement. You harbor resentment toward the world and everything around you. You decide to shatter the window. So refuses to accept failure, she gradually turns her head to look at the window. Beyond the window stretches the endless sea. The building she occupies resembles a tombstone rooted in the deep ocean. She realizes that within her mind, the most tranquil sanctuary is actually at the highest point of Atlantis. I refuse to accept this. Aim your gun at Eve down to your final bullet. The first time your hand trembles slightly as the gun wavers. I'll climb one step further. Please. You have to catch me. Mind beacon persists within Vera's mind. She can't offer her eyes fixed on the data synchronization progress stalled at 99%. Simultaneously, you pull the trigger. This mission that has devolved into disaster, you lost count of how many gunshots you've heard. This will be the last one.
また吹雪。パニッシング爆発の夜と同じ。それからまた長い時間が過ぎた。私は絶えず苦しみを飲み込み、絶えず死を引き継ぎ、絶えず旗を受け取って、いわゆる英雄となった。愚かでしょ。でもこれが私の生き方よ。私の行く手を阻むすべてに対して返す言葉はただ一つ。私は決して穏やかな夜に身を任せたりしない。
The dual-blade gun pierces through the sable night, sending transparent shards flying through the air, which were reflecting Vera's resolute face.
Colonel's preset program? What the hell does it think it is?
Some furies ripped through her mind as the enraged Valkyrie forcibly seized the control of her frame.
Since it's my body, I'll be the one to control it.
Vera burns with her fury, the visual module precisely locking onto the figure before her. Meanwhile, Eve is covering the still smoking gun barrel, and locked in a death grip around your waist as it sinks its teeth into your side. The that sound of flesh being chewed fills Vera's an auditory battle. So this scene, Vera almost believes herself trapped in the past. It's gonna watch you press the opening of the box against your side.
Fuck off!
Vera hurls her dual-blade gun with tremendous force toward the head of the creature, squaring the side of his face, tearing a gaping hole through its insolent visage. This black mud-like substance spatters everywhere. Even with its head impaled by Vera, the final evolution has already begun with the human host.
Bit down, tore away, tasted flesh, information.
Incredibly rich information floods into it, sending rubber trees stretching across and encompassing countless branches. All this coming from a single human. I was mistaken after all. No wonder you spark both hunger and dependency within it.
Must devour, seize, mimic, learn, evolve.
Immense satisfaction envelops it. Sees uncontrollable giggles spilling from its maws and worms its way into your memories.
Where should I start?
It's a good question. So a piece of information as sweet as honey firmly draws its attention. Seeking benefit while avoiding harm is instinctive, and now it finds itself infinitely drawn toward this concept of love.
I must learn it.
It touches upon your love. Not just for Grey Raven, for many others, close friends, battle comrades, even passing acquaintances. As people coalesce into countless beautiful bonds collectively surrounding you, like a fantastical, beautiful dreamscape. Are you sure we don't need to accompany you on this mission? Is mission assessment really that simple? I swear you're doing this on purpose.
I heard you're heading out to sea, so I'll prepare some extra emergency equipment. What's this red medical kit? Why does it even have painkillers?
Perspective shifts backward with a Captain Gregory waits silently.
Commandant, please, you must...
I'll return safely. I promise. So I need to finish every sentence. They already understand each other's hearts. Eve bypassed a section of long-sided memories and ventured into a space of pure white. White doors, white ceiling, and white bedding.
Is this person really okay? Their memory keeps resetting like a reboot. Could there be other serious side effects?
Don't worry too much. The only real problem is that gaping hole in their side where the corrupted stabbed them. The brain hematoma will go down on its own. You just need some time.
Fine, I get it. As long as the hematoma doesn't go away, this fucking solution will continue.
Dr. Heatley reports. It's a temporary medical station. A disaster has just swept through the area outside. Too many people in need of treatment.
Little Commandant, I'm stepping out for a bit. You should rest.
The red-haired consul waves her hand at the hospital bed. Leaves the room and disappears for a short while. She returns, it's already late. She's cleaning her hands while letting her hair down, looking as if she'd been helping the medical staff.
What are you staring at? You been awake this whole time? Or did you just wake up from rest?
Just woke up. Voice extremely hoarse, with a metallic taste of blood seemingly rising continuously in the throat. If though Eve is merely inhabiting and experiencing the body, it can't understand just how severely the patient is injured. Vera.
Don't keep calling me Vera this and Vera that. It's irritating. Here, moisten your lips, then go back to sleep. Don't swallow it. Find the doctor's orders and focusing on recovery is the most important thing for you right now. Do you understand?
By the way, you should get some rest too.
Thanks for the concern, but mind your own business. Look away too. Stop staring at me. I've already promised I'll stay here and watch over you, so hurry up and sleep.
You, or Eve, seemingly close your eyes for a long time. You fail to drift away into the darkness of sleep. Instead, chaotic memories intermingle in your mind, causing you frustration. Hummingbird, give me the coordinates. Vera? Vera sits upright on the bedside chair with her arms crossed. Her eyes are tightly shut and her brow deeply furrowed, like they're experiencing something unpleasant in her sleep mode. Should I help her out? View shifts upward with effort. You rise up from the hospital bed and reach out toward the red-haired constar.
Let me try
A mind connection. Sinking into connection, doing your best to soothe your turbulent mind. For long, you pull away with a look of surprise uttering a single name. Kurna? You stare silently at Vera for a long time. Then reach out to touch the bandage on your side. Guy shifts to the apple at the bedside, along with a glass of water. The stale water has been replaced. This isn't right. Reach for your terminal and make a note of something. Take a deep breath, you reconnect to Vera's mind. Why am I happy? You understand? You undo your memories. To taste the portion of it, Eve gradually lost her smile, feeling that she was becoming entangled in the threads of fate just like her mother. Or father. The thoughts grew heavy, each successive interpretation becoming more and more burdensome. Incomprehensible. What else? Is there anything easier to understand? With the aid of punishing energy, they step into yet another place.
So the eavesdropper is taking an interest in our casual chat. I'll write this. Wait. Is this right? A glimpse haze. The creator made them. Emotions splash out like blood, drenching their entire being. Signal me they chose to withdraw. You think you deserve this? I did it. The new seed has already. Can I understand why humans are slaughtering each other? Their own creator leading the carnage. Don't look at these. The silk threads have already silently entwined themselves around her, preventing her escape attempt. Seeing me looking down her past as well, responding to her panic or her contemptuous laugh. Can you shoulder the burden? Let me go. Cunning and arrogant beast. Want this? Then take it. Raise your hand and forcefully push yourself deeper into the murky depths. The sensation of drowning. I was there to experience it. It was forcibly confined within a human body. It was gone across her form, reawakening with its original pain. Against with some insignificant bruises and scrapes, all from training course at FOS Military College, minor scuffles, ailments, as every student experiences. Ah, right, because it's reading through its memories, because it's a commandant, there's always a new wound every time. Vibrant vitality would gently erase these wounds, as if they never existed. As I entered the battlefield, the wounds grew increasingly severe. Corrupted, sliced open her abdomen while she was evacuating civilians. Cranial trauma. To protect the damaged sample container, she pressed its breech against the wound in her side. Don't struggle. This is what you wanted. Finding Vonica alongside Strikehawk, she was buried under a collapsing wall. Fractured ribs, lung damage. Right, yeah. Finding a heterohive mother, she was impaled to her side by punishing tentacles. Minor organ rupture, fractured hand bones, cranial trauma, subdural hematoma. Right, when the twins were born. Countless knife wounds, countless explosions, countless falls. Heroes are sculpted by disaster. Sculpted by the disasters, crashing down upon the fragile human body. Wave after wave, cycle after cycle, endlessly overlapping. Pressed down in the mire, experiencing pain firsthand. Anticipate this reaction all along, you issue your warning accordingly. Listen carefully. This is what you forged every scar on my body. Keep dreaming of replacing humans, you primitive beast. Get out. Run fast. Pain! Shavi forcefully tearing apart the two of you that had begun to emerge. Fine intricate threads stretching like half-dried adhesive. Stay away from me. You'll face the fate you deserve. You immediately accept this, even ecstatically embracing being expelled by you. Never wants to make contact with you again. For a brief moment, it believes it's finally free. But reality isn't so kind. No sooner has its mental acne subsided than its body is seized by new pain. To speak reality, Eve is violently torn from your abdomen. The next moment hangs suspended in midair. Who gave you permission to hurt my commandant? The look at face contorted with rage was close against her, against its eyes. Its vision blurs. Delirium, the one before emerges silhouette from the sea, where they had killed her before. Ah, the trauma. Yo, what's up, Cat? How you doing? You goddamn hetero creature! The spoilers of my game with this. Oh! What game? Kill it now, Vera! Press down on the wound where Eve's corrosion as he entered your flesh. Where he strained with pain as you wish to command Vera. Vera raises her hand, driving her gun lance deep into the head creature's body to see it to shred. Or to shred the flesh within. This action won't let this kind of creature escape. Mira and Zero's accomplice. Wait, Zero's accomplice? Is that a new game? Oh, okay. We're talking about the trilogy again. Right.
Wait, how did you get the spoiler though? Was it like in game, or was it just like you just saw it somewhere else, like on social media or something? Being suspended midair, probably. I saw some. Oh, okay. Dang. But did you see his dark side? Oh, okay. Well, I guess it's not too bad then. Because, yeah, it could be worse if it was like something else. Oh, yeah, that part. I remember that. That was whack. Like, when I first, like, saw and heard of it, I was like, ugh. Also, no. Oh, okay. Oh, you've seen that part too. Oh, okay. So, you're not done with the game yet, but it's like, I'd say maybe you're halfway? Maybe? I don't remember. It's been so long. Oh, okay. No, then I guess maybe you are getting kind of close to the end. From learning that too. Okay. Right, yeah, that was... No, I'm not. Oh, okay, you're not. Okay. Oh, no, then I guess you're just going through, like, the correct... Or, not correct, but very informative routes. Pretty consistently. Then like 3 or 4. Oh, okay. Wow. Well, you still got a lot of information down from that. I remember going through like a lot of other stuff that were more like bits and pieces compared to that stuff. But still, again, you still have a lot of game to go, so at least you have that. No one knows what's thinking. So you can only watch us in its moment of death, but despite chunks sound of flesh being shredded, suddenly opens her arms toward Vera. Hey, I knew Sean and did a kid thing before I played CT. Oh, really? Because I watched streamer play Stereotype Dilemma. Oh, Sean. Oh, okay. But how long ago was that? Was that like way before you had started it, or was it just like only recently, before you had gotten to that point? I see the move. Oh, finally, I get an actual combat stage. Jeez. What's this guy back in your hand? Oh, okay. I mean, still. Okay, lingering silence. Finally, I get the fight. Okay, then at the scene, the coin flip at the beginning, got the game's late. Ah, okay. Play 299 pretty quick. Yeah, I mean, to be fair, it's like, it is just like the, how many endings was it? 6 or 7 endings, I don't remember. Because, like, you had to go through a lot more endings and a lot more sequences for the, other games compared to that, so. Definitely. Bridges on his war took a month break from. Ah, okay. Killing Eve the leader, Vera saws every hero creature in sight, carving a path forward with brutal efficiency. Just 3 minutes, Vera emerges from the mist of blood. Then you finally saw his ETV. Ah, okay. 1 step, 2 step, carries and lands behind her, trying to the slurry of a hero creature remains as she slowly approaches you. So be exactly 3 steps away. I stopped playing because it got busy. Oh, okay. It took like a 3 month. Oh, I see. Yeah, because I was like, at the pace you were going, I feel like you would have already finished the game by now. Okay, so it's like you're back and you're just back to making progress. Okay. So glad to see you making progress on it again. So I remember something and touches her collarbone. A red light pulses beneath her skin. Glad to figure before you with complicated emotions. Memories of your shared past remain hopelessly fragmented and blurred. By recognizing this gap in your memory, decide to speak first. I have no idea how the flow works, so I just choose random picture. Oh, you don't? Because isn't there another option where it's like it shows you like a, not like a flow chart, but like like branches. Right, and I'm on the room where. Oh, you're in the transporter room one. Okay. And also, you can kind of tell by like shapes and like there should be a way where it's like before you select an actual picture, it shows you like a pattern, and then you can kind of link that pattern to that tree thing. That's kind of how I did it before, but again, that was like a long time ago, so maybe I don't remember. Duh. I don't know. Oh, okay. No, because it's like you choose a picture, and then it shows you to like the top of a branch, right? Then you can kind of like, I guess, try to like probe through the grand tree, because then it'll show you a grand tree where it's like it shows you like start from the coin flip and then where you win, then where you lose the coin flip, and then as you go lower down it shows you all the other branches, but like it's not filled in. Then like you can maybe kind of tell, but don't worry, it's like it does get very confusing, so it probably is better that you just think about going it randomly, as long as you at least remember the important details. I just can't really tell. No, but that's fair. Yeah, I said that Junpei on my call, and she was like, oh yeah, right, yeah, those are pretty impactful ones too. Fair. It's been long. There's a figure rushing forward to open arms. The double-bladed lance dives to the ground. Toxin of iron envelops you as their long hair cascades past your ears. I really don't think Carlos is here. Okay. Wanna know who I think is Zero is? Yeah, sure. I mean, I'll hear it. Of course, I'm not gonna spoil it for you, but I just want to hear it. Q, Eric, or Diana? Okay. Would it be potentially because that it's like you kind of know at least some of the characters and like their past and stuff, that like maybe it couldn't be them? I'm just asking on like what your reasoning is. I'm not gonna say who it is, obviously, or give any hints, but I'm just curious on where you were going from that.
I can tell. You still haven't remembered everything. So it's not time yet. No time for me to say those words.
With your tight embrace, her arms locked around you like a vice. I've already remembered a lot. Surprised I could see fragments of those time to Reeve just now.
There still isn't enough time.
Huh? Or at least their hold. Urgent embrace, like someone desperately trying to keep something from slipping away. Just as quickly as it can. Jumps to one knee and tears open your blood-soaked clothing. Fabric stuck fast to raw flesh makes a sickening sound as she tears it away.
So, how's the Hedo creature date working out for you?
Not so good.
Seeing how eager you are to get yourself killed, I thought maybe you'd fallen in love with the feeling of punishing energy corroding your flesh.
Quickly returns to your usual self. A familiar sharp tongue of hers bringing an almost comforting sense of normalcy. Okay, Eric knows Mira outside the game. Figured out the ice cream pit. Ah, okay. But he's also such a... okay. That's good reasoning. He starts doing Shada Q roundabout. Yeah, okay. Very valid points. Okay.
If I synchronize even a moment later, the punishing would have corroded right through your organs.
Dumps the entire bottle of disinfectant over the wound and savagely jabs the serum injection into your injury. Don't take it out on me.
You never learn your lesson.
It's exactly what you deserve. Fred lowers her gaze, aims at its bandages, and entirely wraps several layers around your waist and injured leg. Shut your eyes as if looking for something familiar to scar her red irises.
Stop staring. I haven't changed.
Its frame looks exactly the same as it did back then. All the internal systems got a slight upgrade.
But you've changed. Your shadow's different now.
You get your gaze, slower reflected in her eyes. Only you're more mature than you were a few years ago. There's a very trace of awareness she wished it wasn't there.
So we ended up like this again after all. You stand. No matter what you saw in my mind or what you've remembered yourself, we don't have time for reunions. First, explain our current situation to me clearly, especially about that smart-mouthed brat. Why did he leave you here? Is he running away, or was there another reason?
No, we went to destroy the other embryos. Unless you're up on the ground, you quickly explain the current situation. Okay. Let me see your ever senpai. Diana's a bit sus because 1, she looks like Luna. 2, Sugi goes to see Q when he's moving a bomb. Diana eyes the stun gun. Also, when I look at the game cover in the person, it holding a weird mechanized gun. It's like, oh right, yeah, the promotional art. Yeah, I completely forgot about that. Right, that might be Q because Mira is like, I'll protect you, Q. Q was afraid to. No, this needs to be against. That's it for him. Oh, okay. Alright. I mean, you still have valid points there, so. And they all do kind of follow the logic of, like, maybe it would seem strange, considering it's, like, depending on how they normally act, it would seem, like, a bit weird, like, after, so. I can see why you have them as your suspects. The card is the. For Akane? Yeah, that is true. Because that does show more of, like, his, firefighter, like, ambitions and stuff like that, so. I can see why you potentially crossed them off the list. From how you and Hayne have dragged Vera into the genetic repository to the elderly researcher who severed ties with the Ascendants. Let's describe how your group was discovered and ultimately cornered by the Ascendants. Regardless, it's evolving hetero creatures. All came from the hands of that researcher, Haynes. Based on his tone, there must be more embryos within the hollow that have to be destroyed. Are you sure that old man is the new Haynes? Even with only fragmentary memories. But he's identical to both Haynes in your memory data. The human brain really is a flawed, fragile thing. Just a slight bump and memories are so effortlessly discarded. No, even if the memories were messed up. I also went back to find you. What? You went back? Fred just frowns and looks up when a crisp, shattering sound comes from her hand. Unconsciously, crushed the empty serum vial. Among the tiny fragments scattered on the floor, Vera notices something and looks down again. Between her collarbones, the space where the safety latch should be is completely empty, as if mocking her with its absence. Even her frame seems to be surging her forward. The instant your mind begins experiencing an intense sensation of falling. Memories are connected, the construct's emotional fluctuations become much more perceptible. What's wrong? It's nothing. I just can control my strength. So many things happen when adapting to the garnet frame. It's perfectly normal. Wait, let me check your mind again. I don't need. Where's away your outstretched hand? Your wounds are patched up for now. You need to hurry and go after that one-armed brat. I don't trust him. With his injuries, he might not be able to complete the mission. I'll carry you on my back. Don't want to end up a cripple and stop walking. Fred cuts off any response you might have and pulls you onto her back. Finally, she steps forward once more. Alright, finally I can get in some combat.
データ同期完了。機体循環正常。意識界データ正常。戦闘モジュール正常。セルフチェック完了。この機体この力なんだかよそよそしく感じるわね。気持ち悪い。失せなさい。逃がせないわよ。隠れる気？甘いわよ。やっぱりダメね。逃がせないわよ。隠れる気？甘いわよ。中は空洞のはずよ。パニッシング濃度が高いわ。行きましょう。私から離れないで。
Just want to look around to make sure I didn't miss any excess stuff. What in the heck is with this? Go up there. Huh, wonder why the music changed over there. Okay, maybe I won't go to the hollow just yet. Maybe that's skipping some phases.
ここは実験室かしら。
Oh. Wait, what's the difference between these then? Oh, okay, no, they just lead to the same one. Okay, I see.
ヘインズのノート。しつこい老いぼれね。
I knew it. No matter the era, I'll always be the one favored by truth. Whenever Ascendant, blessed by the punishing virus, sought me out. His name is Ephialtes. Working with him feels more like a deal. He brings me exactly what I need. A controllable punishing virus, and he's even willing to occasionally help rein in those inherently savage hetero creatures. In return, I provide him with a vast undisturbed space I call the Hollow. But saying it up, he's moved countless broken discarded constructs inside. According to Ephialtes himself, they're all remains from Lost Prados, since I refer to them as Lloyd. I once tried to destroy one of those Lloyds, but Ephialtes found out almost immediately. I suspect he shares some kind of connection with all of them. Beyond that, I also attempted to ask him about other Ascendants, but he seemed to be annoyed by the topic, especially when it came to Gabriel. Ah shit, he had connection to Gabriel too? Of course. To be honest, he's not much of a talker and comes off a bit dull. At least he's far more generous than Gabriel. He probably has some personal grudge against Kurno since he's killed up quite a few so-called high-ranking figures whose name I actually recognize. Not that he'd stop him. Well, I've been sick of those imbeciles. And this partnership? No. This deal reaches its end? Sign out to provoke. Ah, okay. Yeah, so that's why, Bear knew Lloyd, because, like, maybe he was also tied to Kurno back then. Interesting.
自信過剰で自己中な匂いで鼻がもげそうだわ。他には何かあるかしら。
Let's see. Very close to success. Ephialtes is also anticipating this triumph. Though I've come to realize he's no different from those imbeciles outside, at least our goals align. It's the only reason he's kept me dealing with them. However, it is now a pressing disagreement between us. Ephialtes has no intention of raising this shitty world to the ground. Instead, he only wants to guide a new species toward the so-called right path. Conditionally, of course. I often wonder, what could such a laughable gentleness possibly gain him? Even more absurdity when I jokingly suggested an excellent candidate to serve as the genetic template for the new species. Graver Commander of Babylonia. He actually agreed. I suspect he has engaged with the new world in years. It's like a relic of the Golden Age, sluggish and naive. His bones, steeped in the indecisiveness typical of that era's moderates. I despise such trash. Why am I always surrounded by this kind? I had no choice but to explore alternative methods, including leveraging a certain version of myself all the way over on Babylonia. I heard that fellow had changed his name under Kurno's control and chose a path entirely different from my own, rendering him untrustworthy. I'll dispose of him afterward. Oh, so we actually already knew about the existence of Haynet. Well, no, actually, it does make sense. Yeah, because he's his fucking clone. But he still kept contact with Kurno even through all this for this? Shit. I think some information I knew what catches in Babylonia's attention. To my surprise, after some fuss, they actually managed to lure out the grave of Commandant. Unexpected by me, but perfectly aligned with Ephialtes' wishes. Wow. So we really fell for this hook, line, and sinker. Because it's like, we knew it was going to be a problem, but we didn't know how much of it. So of course they'd have to send a grave of Commandant who's used to stuff like this, not knowing that it's like, that's exactly who they wanted for this situation. Ephialtes set off with his so-called good intentions. I'm dying of laughter. Just wait. Long before he brings back that Commandant as a template, I'll have fed my own clone embryos to the children. I said I'd personally name the new species' first child Eve. As I, after all, am the one who will replace God. Of course you will.
空洞に近づいてるわ。方向は合ってるみたいね。あら、扉が開いたわ。電源が入ってる。 まだ間に合うわ。まだよ。私はまだ倒れない。甘いわよ。まだまだここからよ。笑える。はぁ、年功最骨。もういいわ。ヘインズの性格からするとゴールで私たちを待っているはず。
I retained the footage from the so-called disaster in Pilea Forest Park. It confirms that my approach is correct. After all these years of silence, it's the best news I've ever received. My previous body was destroyed by that red-haired girl. Now all my memories were synced to this new one. Gabriel too has long since vanished. But it doesn't matter. Even in divine guidance has faded, I can still shoulder this responsibility. I'll guide the punching virus to evolve. When the Eden of this new world gives rise to a new species, I'll personally name it Eve. I'll make it clear to everyone. I am the one who replaces God. Oh, so that's why I was able to continue that research. That's why I was able to create someone like Eve, because I'm like, he would have needed a lot of intel. And even with the controlled punishing by Ephialtes, there's no way he would have known the direction to actually create such a being like that. But he gained that information from Pilea Forest Park. I see. So the creation of the twins had basically confirmed his direction. Ah, I see. Now that's finally coming back into the picture. Now it all makes sense.
実験の記録装置。何か有用な情報はあるかしら。まさか実験の記録装置に自分の死に様が記録されるなんて思ってもみなかったでしょうね。この設備はまだ動くの？何に使うのかしら。違う。空洞の内部にエネルギーを転送してるわ。破壊できないわ。守られてるなんてとても大切なのね。
Wait, can I actually... Oh, I can't interact with this. Oh, I thought it would give me some cool intel or something. But I guess just like maybe one of the other subjects, right? Probably what that's supposed to be. So you're telling me I still don't have to go into that room with Red? Okay, for sure I would. I mean, I'm gonna still go check it anyway. Ah, shit, I see other ones there. Terrific. Alright, fine. Oh no, I can check here. Cool. I was kind of wondering.
音がするわ。行ってみましょう。
Oh, there is something here. I was kind of wondering, what the fuck even is this? What does this even do? What did they even do? Soundage power. Oh. Oh. It was just a secret thing? Damn. Alright, I mean, I'll take it. I don't know what exactly it was supposed to be for. Maybe it actually heals me or something. Yeah, maybe it actually does heal me because of that energy. Maybe. Whatever.
空洞に着いたわ。さて、次に死に急ぎたいやつは誰？
There's something wrong. Oh, wow. It was just meant to be like a red herring. That was supposed to be something cool when it wasn't. That is funny. Dude, again, another just cutscene like thing? Come on, man. Let me have a fight. But then again, I'm not that far off from finishing this, so we'll be fine. If Vera begins to run, another person with high expectations has already reached the location of the hollow. Stumbles along the way, his severed arm barely bandaged, desperately evading grazed header reaches, leaving a dripping trail of blood behind him. Having exhausted all his ammunition, he finally reaches his destination using Kurano's blueprint, on a step into emptiness as he forced the door open, tumbling down a staircase 5 or 6 meters high. He's forced to lie still on the ground for 2 minutes. Excruciating pain causes his muscles to spasm and convulse while waves of darkness cloud his vision.
Why is it so dark? I should have reached the place by now. Just my rotten luck.
According to the original plan, he only wanted to find someone in the gene repository and confirm a few details. That's why he went to great lengths to get close to Grave Commandant and Vera, using every possible way to force himself onto their ship, insisting on coming here with them. Oh, okay, so he actually wanted to be.
If I could be of some help to the Commandant, perhaps I could earn a chance to return to Babylonia. And finally, leave Kurano behind.
The original plan didn't involve any significant risks.
Who knew it would come to this? Zeniths on one side, Grace Header creatures on the other. Not only did I get nothing out of it, I even lost half my arm. The Grey Raven Commandant and Vera. I wonder if they're alright. Pathetic. They actually dared to entrust their last chance to me. Foolish.
He struggled to prop himself up and began feeling around in the darkness. Unexpectedly, several familiar silhouettes started dancing across his retinas.
Oh great. My life is flashing before my eyes.
The first to appear before his eyes was the ever-optimistic Beeble, displaying an uncharacteristic agitation. What's your own role in all of this? Are you a hero or a shadow? Everyone dreams to become someone like the Grave Commandant. What about you? Are you truly content with that? Are you willing to be that sacrificed shadow?
Of all faces to see before death, it had to be yours. How pitiful.
What nonsense are you spouting? Make a decision now! Everyone who can find is already here. Didn't you say we act together? He shook his shoulders and only then does he hastily make out his surroundings. And as fires rage around him, with blood flowing in rivers. Survivors gather around him, but the equipment on everyone flashes with red warning lights.
It's the graduation simulation battle. Remember, at this point, the floating processor was completely drained.
Beeble organizes what little equipment remains, distributing it among his companions while counting off the survivors under his breath.
Freeman's confirmed loss, and Rolo is no longer in the simulation environment. Lost almost all of our manpower, so we couldn't conquer the final high-risk zone. Give it up.
Why? He's in place looking incredulously at Hannah.
Whoever designed the simulation must have gone mad to set the difficulty this high. Since the remaining candidates already have enough accumulated points to determine the top 10, we may as well give up.
What madness are you talking about? Grabs Hannah by the collar, trying to yank him up from the ground.
Who was it that came to me yesterday talking about trying another approach? Weren't you the one who said you'd handle it? Even we must resort to the most costly human wave attacks or tactics. Even we can only crawl forward on the footprints of the fallen. If only one person reaches the end. We refuse to leave the final high-risk zone just sitting there untouched. If we give up here, we're throwing away everything those before us fought for. That method is like ants clinging together to float during a flood. There's no telling who will be drowned to death or left behind. You might not even make chief after all this. What does competing for chief have to do with anything? Assemble. All the threats are laid bare before us. We no longer have the ability to counter them. Now, if we refuse to cower in fear, our only option is to charge through with everything we got. And I know what you want to do. The final chance is right here, right before our eyes. We absolutely cannot give up. And you, Hayneth. Can't you see? I've already lost an arm. None of you people who come and go ever cared if I lived or died. In my reality, I can actually die, you know? No, you absolutely cannot.
Remember, Beeble doesn't overthink it. He mutters something under his breath, extends his hand, and angrily pulls Hayneth up from the ground.
It really hurts. If only someone in reality would pull me up like that. Sharp pain shoots through Hainif's severed arm. This is someone had actually pulled him up from the ground. Hainif repeatedly opens and closes his eyes until his vision finally returns, just into the light of this place. Rhythmically pulsing embryos surround him on all sides. Through their semi-transparent membranes, countless abnormal hetero creatures can be seen waiting to be born. He really did find the right place. Directly in front of him, the person who pulled him up is grinning widely while scrutinizing him. Welcome to Zomba's Hollow. I'm Haynes, and you must be looking for me. Upon hearing this name and seeing the face clearly, Haynes instinctively throws the old man to the ground. So the remaining hand to his left grips his gun tightly and aims it at Haynes. Gun that he knows is empty. You've come all this way in disguise, and those two from Babylonia aren't here either, so we can talk normally now. I have nothing to say to you. I heard your conversation with that Ascendant. All the problems in this place were created by you. So what? I heard your conversation with that Graver Commandant to the surveillance system. You said you were here to find family, that you wanted to know your origins. So you're an old creep who loves eavesdropping. Can't help it. I've always had a strong thirst for knowledge. You're the same. What nonsense. You're the first to find me. You deserve a reward. Tell me, what do you want to know? I'll patiently answer all your questions. And his eardrums ring incessantly. He suspects the fall might have gifted him with a concussion. Can't stand Haynes' endless prattle. No matter how many questions he still has, there's only one thing that needs to be done right now. Shut up! Hands above your head, or I'll shoot you. I know Kurno's methods well. Every experimental facility has a complete destruction protocol. Tell me how to activate the self-destruct program. Under the draft Hainif's gun, Haynes raises an eyebrow in resignation, so he lifts both hands. Is that really the answer you want most right now? How boring. Cut the crap. I'm counting to 5. It's right behind you. No need to count. I'll tell you everything you want to know. You can activate it from that console behind you. What's wrong with your eyes? A few more steps and you would have crashed into it. Haynes remains unusually calm, with an almost amused expression as he watches Hainif slowly back up until his waist bumps against the console image. Is he, lying to him? Make him think he'll believe everything he says? And in such a desperate need, too. Doesn't have the rationality to think it's a trap. The password is 6/8. I've already entered it. Now you just need to use your biometric credentials to activate it. Huh? The Haynes almost down to his own hearing as he begins to suspect his word. Fingerprints. Iris scan. You can pass every single rigorous security check. It's your decision to make. I can't control you anyway. Are you pressing and destroy this place? Or will you let them remain and wait for them to present you with a completely new evolution? What? No. Why can't I? I've never felt so lost. He's used to being the one who sets up traps and plays tricks on others. This time he feels like he's walking step by step into someone else's carefully scripted farce, for himself as a clown. From my perspective, I suggest you let them live, because they're all your brothers and sisters. Didn't you eavesdrop on us earlier? The first and most successful child absorbed an embryo to use me as its genetic template. But it's different from us. It's broken free from the limitations of the human body. It become the origin of a new species, so we shouldn't continue using the name Haynes. So I named it Eve. What do you think? Hainif stands frozen before the control panel, allowing Haynes to casually unravel the questions that have haunted him for years. So that's it. You're Haynes, the last one to survive screening. So you were assigned to Babylonia. Who knows what kind of scheme that old bastard is cooking up now? Number 1364. Your position after graduation has been decided. After graduation, you'll join the Aurora Squadron. Aurora Squadron? That name doesn't ring a bell. Is it your secret force? Correct. We've agreed through discussion that this would be the most suitable position for you. It's safer to keep a cunning person like you close to us, don't you think? Even though you've been trying to misguide us by deliberately displaying mediocre talent in order to get assigned to the task force. Do you really think we wouldn't uncover your little scheme when we've been closely watching you? Now that you found out, why are you still going to keep someone like me so close to you? Your little rebellion is nothing more than a source of amusing entertainment for us. Remember, you are Kurino's asset. Do not ask questions or overthink. All you need to do is execute our orders. So I'm also Haynes.
That's about right. You're almost my perfect clone. From the golden age until the end, I've gone through 3 generations. In you, I turned away some undesirable genes, like nearsightedness, high blood pressure, and the like. Don't be surprised. Back in the golden age, genetic screening was a common method for the wealthy to practice eugenics. Some people even made clones of their own genetic samples to filter out genes that they didn't like. So generation after generation evolves, becoming a better version of myself. Ah, so he must have been the Haynes that went through the security check when the punishing had already happened and they were taking flight, right? So that was him. Because I was like, it couldn't be this Haynes here, because he's still in this lab this whole time.
So Kurino provided you with support, helped you to develop the next generation, resulting in me.
There's that name tag on the old man's clothes. Same name he once used himself. Suddenly feels a wave of nausea rising from his stomach.
Why did you abandon the other 9 clones? Even those who didn't die for genetic defects were murdered.
Because Kurino isn't a charity. We've always had a mutually beneficial arrangement. I needed materials and a site, plus a way to continue my existence. While they satisfy these conditions, they also gain surveillance authority over you. I mean, over me. What they needed was, at the very least, for the next Haynes to be more controllable. And naturally, one was enough. Growing up under all those watchful eyes wasn't very pleasant, was it? You've been through a lot. But it doesn't matter. Once I complete the incubation of all embryos in the Hollow, neither Kurino nor any Ascendant will be able to restrict me anymore. I'll be the master of a new world. That's why I collaborated with the Ascendant. I bring the most advanced technology, he brings punishing, and together we accelerate the birth of an entirely new species. He's similar to me with multiple bodies, so it's pointless how many times you kill him out there. He'll always resurrect from here, showing that large batches of his children hatch successfully. Haynes points to several sleeping pods suspended upside down overhead, taken by bone spikes growing for the header creatures.
You're misleading me. What I heard with my own ears was that the Ascendant thinks you've done too many unnecessary things. You two have already split up.
It doesn't matter. What can you possibly learn with your pathetic eavesdropping skills? Besides, if he doesn't approve of what I do, then his opinion doesn't matter. With relaxed demeanor, Haynes points to the nearest sleeping pod. Eve getting tangled with Grave Commandant and being turned against the Ascendant was purely accidental. But it's not entirely a bad thing for me. After all, the next Ascendant hasn't emerged yet, so I'm in control of everything outside for now. Ah, so we can't just emerge immediately, like just from another pod.
No wonder. You're so disgustingly full of yourself.
Come on, put down the gun and join me. It's out of bullets anyway, isn't it? I'm the one who understands you best. Remember how you first received that information? Your War Squadron team kept searching for intel during the mission, and then you suddenly discovered that a technical supervisor at the Kurino Gene Bank had the same name as you, Haynes. I know myself all too well. I knew I would definitely be interested, and sure enough, you followed the scent right to me. He's good.
You did this on purpose.
Yep, it's true that Ascendants killed people, and Fialtis does harbor hatred for Kurino. But the one who embellished these facts, the one who falsely claimed Ascendant specifically requested that ship, was you. You were the only one desperately searching for the Gene Bank. You saw clearly that Kurino wanted to keep secrets while Babylonia wanted to thoroughly investigate. Both sides were racing to learn more about the new Ascendant. Ah, so he would take advantage of both prospects to get everything engineered exactly how he wanted it. Not only to get the Grave to get access to here with the best security. Also with the construct as well. And Vera, as a former member of Kurina's Special Operations Division, would definitely reopen the investigation, and definitely track down that key, the ship that could lead to this island. Ah, so that's why it was also Vera that was chosen for this mission too. In the end, the Commandant and Vera reaching this island was all thanks to you. Didn't you notice what happened from the very beginning? Right, yeah, because if he just wanted it, like, completely, just clearly, just to investigate the island, it seemed like the rest of Grey Raven was still available, based on my memories. So because of this whole situation, specifically with Haynes being involved, he had to get Vera here so we could get more clues. Everyone was shocked and finally realized the magnitude of his mistake. Those two had just desperately trusted him with their only way out. Just see results to do something for those two, Haynes strikes head on, shattering his facade. Haynes continues to laugh. I just leaked a bit of information that's been some news about the Ascendant's revenge on Kurino, and look at the results! You truly are the most outstanding one among the next batch of Haynes. Shut up! I've won. Did you think you were so clever? Did you think you could kill two birds with one stone? Discover your own origins while helping the Grey River Commandant? Using that person as your escape route from Kurino? You'd think, just because you performed well, just because that person might show mercy and lend you a hand, you could escape your fate as a Haynes. Oh, I see. Because it would be like he got the vouch. Or like the get out of jail free card. Wow. Shut up! His eyes stood with rage. Here's the cascading crash of dominoes falling one after another. The person who reached out to topple that first domino was none other than himself. The person now standing with face contorted in anguish. What's the rush? Even if you survive today with your deception, countless punishments await you. Neither Kurino nor Babylonia will take you back. You had nowhere to return to. You! Haynes sees through Haynes' bluff. Reaching to his coat, searching for something to show him. My secondary body has grown old and won't last much longer. I'll synchronize my memory of yours, and once you understand... You insufferably arrogant old bastard! Before Haynes can charge forward, Haynes delivers a silent bullet to his leg. Here's the gun he just pulled from his coat, practically radiating smugness. Since you were a child taken in by Kurino from the very beginning, why would I ever invite you to have power over me? Walks the control panel with theatrical exaggeration, raises his hand high and slams it down forcefully as Haynes watches through a blur of excruciating pain. I'm tired of you. I know you wouldn't dare activate this program on your own. Boring. You were right. This isn't actually a self-destruct button. If you'd pressed it earlier, you would have been the one to initiate the final evolution. I know it. I was like, he's making that way too easy. It's like, why would we ever have to trust the words of this guy? At least Hayden was at least smart to like not immediately press the button. Darkness floods his vision as Hayden falls to his knees in agony. Hayden's actions appear to see alarm signs as rotating red lights illuminate every creation within the hollow. After identical human clones, incubating Henry creatures or ascendants not yet reborn in their sleeping pods. The entire hollow facility activates as Haynes erupts in laughter amid the deafening chorus of alarms. You idiots! I just can't help but mess with you every time we meet. And to think I had expectations. It seems even I can be assimilated after spending too much time among a flock of mindless sheep. Though consumed by rage and physical agony, Haynes still struggles or refuses to succumb to the pain. No, I'll never. You cannot give up here. I won't allow it. None of us will allow it. You can't allow yourself to give up either. For his eyes is the simulated battle that often haunts him during his waking hours. Secure the tourniquet around your wound. They keep moving with us. More troops. How many? The mere seconds they've been speaking, more corrupted crawl out from the nearby trenches, lunging at the soldiers struggling on the last legs.
To make it count, what's left is right here.
Never burst of flames.
I told you, when hands cluster together and roll into the water, countless deaths are inevitable. Like this, having everyone to charge toward the final harvest zone. The shadows should be prepared to become sacrifices. What about you? What's your role in this? You never answered me. Well, you said just this plan, you already knew the answer, didn't you? I think. He stares at the fires and corpses of shadows thrown across the ground, acutely aware the bullet Haynes shot into his leg. The bullet deemed all his efforts foolish. And all this compels him to spill out the true feelings hidden deep in his heart. The truth is, I wanted to be a hero. I don't want to be a shadow anymore. Not Haynes' shadow, not the Great Raven Commandant's shadow. I'm done with all of that. I wanted to break free from Haynes' shadow and surpass the Great Raven Commandant, to become an unprecedented, entirely new kind of hero. But in the end, every step I took was wrong. That's what he wants to break down in furious sobs, knowing that even in this near-death dream, his old classmates will patiently listen. I miss all of you. I don't want to stay with Colonel anymore. I want to kill Haynes. I want my name proudly displayed on the memorial. I want to tear off all these contracts binding me and stand honorably in the light. None is anyone's shadow. Of course you're not. Since you entered FOS, you've always been Haynef. Hey, Beeble, put me down. Your leg is injured. Despite everything, Haynef struggles to his feet, gathering the little equipment he has left. The main note capable of supporting the longest arsenals on his person. The mission's final objective is to destroy the last harvest zone. I'll keep fighting. Even if I do end up in Kurano, I'll find a way to break free. What are you trying to do? It's not too late to stop living in confusion and start thinking clearly. I'll let myself be carried away by heroism for the ending I desire. He rushes forward, clutching the domain node. Right after clustered ants drifting through water. As everyone follows Haynef into the inferno, he catches the scent of something burning. Despite everything, he persists, raising his arm high and down. Use that brain of yours that never once thought about your true self. Completely wasting all these years. Feeling the last of his strength, he swings his arm down hard. Like he aims to the ground, he sees that gun from his hand. Then, gun in his left hand, he fires repeatedly at Haynes' wrists and ankles, till the last shell casing hits the ground with a sharp clatter. I'll prove that I'm nothing like you. He tells aside the smoking empty gun and rains blow after blow on Haynes' face, shattering his brow, crown, and nose. Let's see whose blood runs dry first. Damn. Blood flies everywhere. With some maroon teeth knocked loose, Haynes had underestimated how time and experience can change a person. His brutal beating forced both men to acknowledge that fact. You call yourself the one who knows me best. You couldn't be more wrong. But I'll find every little trick you've hidden. Spending his last ounce of strength, Haynes delivers one final punch to Haynes. Tears over his collar, stripping away the hypocrite's facade. The white lab coat allows a twisted body nearly completely transformed. I knew you couldn't possibly be selflessly devoted to helping that Ascendant. You'd definitely find a way to control him, to make sure he wouldn't dare end your partnership. And the best way to control him was to destroy all the embryos, reducing the Ascendant's plans to ashes. You've already transformed yourself into the detonator for destroying this gene bank, haven't you? He opens his mouth as if to say something, but only blood spills out. Weren't you the old man who left a smile? Why can't you laugh now? Admit it. The moment you kill me, the destruction program will automatically activate. Drag his injured leg, he boots to the edge of the platform, hauling the barely breathing Haynes. Next, if I can just end all Haynes, I finally break free from this sickening cycle of fate. During the simulation battle, he successfully charged into the center of the high risk zone, clutching into the main node. The hero leaping into the abyss while embracing the flames. It's time to end it all. If you can never become the chief, still the ending you wanted. Even if I have to die with him, still the ending I want. But the pain makes him want to curl up into a ball, and he forces himself to whisper into Haynes' ear.
Then, like the flaming Icarus falling into the sea, clutches Haines' body and rolls off the edge. Sensation of weightlessness takes over, he exhales deeply. Thinking how to Commandant, just decided to pass the final baton to him.
I've done it. Let this be my atonement.
Closes his eyes, savoring the rush of wind past his ears as he falls. The rush of wind suddenly stops.
Well, look at this. Leave for just a moment and this brat's already made a complete mess of himself. Santos, your FOS really is a breeding ground for exceptional talent.
I've got him! As we cling to one of Haino's legs while Vera mercilessly pins down his other leg with her foot.
You two! What's with the face? So grateful you're about to have a breakdown?
Vera, hurry and drop that old bastard!
I will, but before that...
He raised a dual blade gun, carefully aiming the tip at the old man's widened eyes, as if searching for the perfect angle.
I've read your notes and finally figured out how you copy. If I kill you here today, there won't ever be another Haines, right?
You again!
So you do remember me. Then let me ask, are you enjoying our little reunion, Haines?
He notices the familiar figure standing beside Vera. The scene seems to have played out before many years ago, and the reminder infuriates. How are you so lucky again? He shifts his gaze to Vera's collarbone as if discovering some new amusement. Through a mouthful of blood, he's determined to speak his mind. The last Haines falls with the momentum for the spear tip, plunging into the densest cluster of embryos below. The thud announces the end as the platform where the three remaining people stand immediately begins to shake. Flames ignite from below and heat waves surge upward. Hader stumbles to the ground, clutching a bleeding wound in his thigh as he comes to control it.
Get out of here. The old man is dead. The hollow will self-destruct.
Vera doesn't speak, so she raises her hand in a firefight. The firelight reaches for where the safety should be. It's gone.
How many years has it been? I've almost forgotten this feeling.
As a reminder of something by Haynes' words, she involuntarily glances at you.
Far from over. Haynes is dead, but that Ascent is still putting up quite a fight. According to Haynes' notes that we found earlier, the next Ascent will be born here in this hollow.
As it responded to her words, the incubation chambers wrapped in bone spikes began to vibrate. The entities inside, since the threat struggled to birth themselves.
His most primal purpose was revenge. People harboring such emotions always take the wrong path at some crucial crossroads. Just like he is now. Completely manipulated by Haynes, who excelled at entrapping people. Even if his name isn't Lloyd, the person once died by my hand, so I like to knock some sense into him.
Vera's red hair sways gently in the wave of heat. Despite being in pain, you gaze at the slender thread of fire swinging before you. Through the distorted air, you sense something strange brewing, and of secrecy, a touch of resignation. Wait. Vera.
Listen to me.
Tightens her grip on her weapon once more. For a moment, she seems to radiate his sorrow.
There are too many things I haven't had time to say, especially to you. You tied us together again?
Yeah, it's me.
How much do you remember?
Not much. Still a bit. Memories of her still remain hazy.
You went back to look for me?
Yeah, that I remember clearly.
But you...
Vera's lips move rapidly as she speaks, words coming out in a rush. Simultaneously, long-lost memories replay in your throbbing head. Memories of being inside Vera's mind and seeing through her eyes, giving glimpses of what the hetero creature you've once witnessed. Something's not right. search through the countless memories and perspectives, trying to pinpoint the source of this strange uneasiness.
Just like this, pull the plug out.
Finally, your case settles our various checks.
We've been doing the wrong thing from the very beginning. I realized that long ago. Might as well commit to our mistakes until the end.
I remember now, Vera. Send lunge forward, disregarding your injured leg, and grab Vera's waist, exposing the emptiness where something should be. What exactly was the plug I pulled out back then? Vera trembles so violently it's nearly impossible to stand. Thus trickles down from the ceiling.
I'll count to 3, then you run forward.
Vera! Said something and reach out to grab. Vera raises her weapon once more and severs the rope between the two of you.
The rope is cut. That's what it means.
Reach out as fast as possible, but grasp nothing but air. Use the tip of her gun to push the two wounded off the platform. Leave yourself alone. The vast expanse silently await to ascend its birth. Only now do you realize. So your Vera was like a tiny yet burning spark. Something out will grasp too lightly. Too tight. Oh shit, alright, we're getting close to the end, people. Good night, alright. That's gonna be the end of the stream for tonight, right? I know, it's at a cliffhanger. I know we're about to have a fight, but gotta go have dinner and then relax. And then tomorrow in the morning I'll look for OSTs and stuff for us to listen to while I do the tier list tomorrow.
ケルベロスは寝かしつける必要なんてないわ。こうしてわかった？早く休まないならあなたにも必要かしら。
But anyway, that's gonna be in the stream for tonight, everybody. Shout out to ICAT for showing up to the stream. Yeah, like I said, we will continue tomorrow for the tier list stream. Hope you guys do enjoy it. I'm gonna give my in-depth analysis on a lot of characters from Trails of the Sky 3, and maybe even change up a bit of like some of the other stuff, people from other games, just because of having a much bigger perspective now, looking along the lines of like a lot of other stuff, some other developments. So I'll think about that for the time being. But yeah, that will be stream for tomorrow. I will try to do more streams next week since I took like literally 2 days off for it. So hopefully we can finish Honkai Impact 3rd this upcoming week, so then we can focus on the Wuthering Waves update that we got. But anyway, if you guys did enjoy the stream but are not already following the channel, please make sure you leave a follow. Much appreciated. Check my YouTube channel, I post all the VODs, subscribe there as well. Join Discord, you guys not already. Links to all those are on the channel. But now finally getting close to the end here for Vera's Flowing Record. It has been pretty cool, honestly, seeing more about like Vera and her history with the Commandant and exactly where that's kind of led them and how it's connecting to the current stakes right now. But anyway, this has been Xanthos Vice. I hope you guys have a great rest of your night. I'll see you guys next time.